We're picking up the mic now? Oh, there we go. Now we're picking up the mic. Alright. I'm concerned there for a minute that may have broken my stream. My computer likes to update and change all of my settings. I hope the music is not too loud. Let me know and I can adjust it. Hope everybody is doing fantastic this evening. Guess we can go ahead and swap her over to the scene. Check to make sure that thing is picking up the correct instance. And we'll get a look at what we are doing today. Well, where is it? I have a black screen. I have the... try that one. Right now. Hey, welcome in, Cooper. Do I not have the correct game capture set up? Let me check into this. At 21. There we go. See if it pops in now. There it is. Okay. Hopefully we have a Bleaker online too. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see if he wants to hang out in the Discord with us. Go ahead and jump into recording here. Update my status. Okay, so what you are looking at currently is where we need to be digging out. You just spent 2 weeks digging out a lake? Oh, I think it might take longer than this. Welcome to the stream, Joshua. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty epic project. You know, before we get things started, let's go ahead, and now that I've swapped it to this instance, I kind of want to show you what exactly we're going to be, what the end goal will be. How about that? Give you a little exclusive behind the scenes view. Let's swap to, see if this is the correct one. All right, yes. So this is what we're going to be making. Don't mind the blue layer, it's just stained glass. It's just a placeholder so that way Lightmatica doesn't yell at me. Yeah, we got to dig this thing all the way down to, I believe it's, yeah, to Y level 10. So it might show up a little weird here on the stream. But yeah, we have already spent, between Bleaker and we already spent, I think it was about 2 weeks draining out the previous lake that was here. And then we have to mine it all out and then of course build it back in. But let's go ahead and get swapped back over into the world. So that's what you're looking at right now. This is the full schematic. And don't mind the mess, it's still a work in progress. Whoa, hello, Bleaker. You scared me. Before we start, actually, I need to go get shulker boxes, because I don't think that I have enough here. I'm 100% prepared for the stream, and I don't think that what the 12 shulker boxes that I have here will be enough. And I can make more shulker boxes, but I don't have the wood to do so. So let's take a quick little run back to my base here, and then grab a shulker of wood or something like that, and then we can get started. Oh, this Lightmatica is literally killing me right now.
Not fast enough.
Oh, welcome in, Bleaker. So if I hit the tab screen right here, you'll see the score up there. I'm at 25,980, and what that is it's like a custom tracker that we have on the server, and that is currently tracking the amount of damage taken. So since we made this go live, I think about a month ago, I'm either in the lead or barely in the lead of the amount of damage taken, because I like to fall a lot. Hey, welcome in, Cobb. We just gotta run and go get some some wood. At least a shulker box. I think we'll go with birch. What do you think, Bleaker?
Off. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. What I meant to say was, please heck off. Did you watch my video?
I got halfway through it, and I need to finish watching the rest. That is quite the layer, or quite the video. To tackle in one sitting. Baboo. Alright. Now we got some wood. Bamboo? Bamboo where? No bamboo here.
Man, when I look at you, it's like, damn, boo.
How's the music? It seems a little loud for me on my end. So hopefully it's not carrying the stream too much or interfering. Oh, you make chests from bamboo. I gotcha. Yeah, I need to build myself a proper bamboo farm. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the music just a little bit. I can barely hear myself think. There we go.
Who are you talking to?
My chat?
Oh.
Okay,
Are you
good.
streaming?
I am streaming, yes.
Oh.
So watch your mouth.
I don't have a mirror.
Yep. People online. I like to point out that this one portal that I use all the time is unmarked, but the one that I almost never use currently is the one that marked. So I just use it as a general pointer to where I should be going. And oh, hello again. So much going on.
So you didn't watch my video that I worked really hard on?
I have not watched the entire thing. We've been over this.
It hurt my feeling.
Oh,
I worked real hard on that.
so much has gone into that. The video that he's talking about, chat, is he has made a 100-day survival map video, which is pretty sweet. I mostly say that because I participate in it, so that's the reason why it's so good.
Let the record reflect. I didn't invite him. He just showed up. I didn't even give him the server IP. I honestly don't know how he got in.
I just hacked in.
Hacker voice, I'm in.
Like, you know what Bleaker needs? He needs some company. Might hop in voice chat. Cool.
Do I have more purposes to serve?
I mean, if you want to help dig, you can. That's what we're doing tonight.
Okay, where
or
do
at
I
least... Oh, you don't have a schematic.
No, I don't.
Well, that makes things a little bit more of a challenge. I will just point you in a general direction. How about that? So I don't know if you want to try to have my stream running in the background or something, so you can kind of see where I'm pointing.
Yep.
I can't really screen share.
I've been watching your stream I've been watching the stream your whole time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't mind the chaos. This was kind of a spur of the moment. So,
say chaos.
I think for now, Bleaker, let's have you work on digging out this whole area right here.
Let's see, there's my mending. Are we silk touching this or are we efficiencying this?
Whichever you would like. I need both cobblestone and stone.
I guess I'll just efficiency it because that's all the tools I have on me.
Yeah, you still have my other picks. It's probably gonna be shovels for a while, honestly, until we get through these layers.
I don't have your other picks. I'm still rocking with my 3 picks.
I gave you the picks down in the mining area below my base. Remember?
Oh yeah, those are still
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Those are still there.
I
Alright, yeah,
wish-
let's silk
I
touch.
should have grabbed those.
You should have grabbed those.
I definitely should have. I am 100% prepared.
Okay,
Says confidently.
you should go grab those.
I think we'll be okay. I don't know. Well, for now, let's just let it ride. I want to start working.
Silk touch. So I have one silk touch.
Right, so I think I'm a tad bit stupid.
Oh. Welcome in.
I'm
welcome in.
collecting andesite near around Death's base because he's got a bunch of exposed andesite in all the giant holes he's been digging.
Did you know he was British?
Yes.
Oh.
English, but yeah.
Oh. God save the king.
I mean,
For however long he's still in.
apparently, what's going on with the news right now? I don't know if you guys saw, but I guess Trump just had an assassination attempt. Not that
Yeah,
not that I really want to get into politics in this stream, but just
Stop it.
current
This
news.
will not end well.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I was.
God save the king.
All I'm saying is surprised it hasn't happened earlier.
All right. Yeah, that's all. We'll leave it at that. Like I said, I don't want to.
God
exactly.
save the king.
I don't want to get.
But yeah,
into
back to what I
politics.
was saying. I just flew over his iron farm with a bad omen.
Oh
So, yeah.
no, you done did messed up, Ron.
I done done messed up. It's funny because I've not seen a single pillager yet. I'm just sat in the bottom of the hole mining andesite.
He said hole.
Okay, are you ready to get started then?
God help us all.
So
God has left the chat.
I'm trying to think of the best way to approach this, and kind of thinking
Just
like
tell me what you
working.
want. Just tell me what you want gone and how far you want it gone.
Yeah, it's like it'd be easier to just say between this beacon, excuse me, dig straight down. But I feel like that's going to be like twice as much digging as what we need to do. I'm not going to tell you to dig between all of those points when the land actually curves out and around. So, maybe I tell you what. How about
Yeah, what?
you see where? Let me just
Okay,
fly over to it.
Nope.
Right
Where
here.
is it?
I know that this will be the deepest point in the lake, right where I'm standing. Why don't you work on just between the area of these 4 beacons? There's a little bit.
There's a single pillager somewhere.
I don't know. Just dig out the center.
You got the center of what?
Do you want me to just send you a schematic? Because I'm so super prepared right now and get you all configured so you can see what needs to be dug out too.
Send it to me next time. I'll just watch. You're
Okay.
going to be at this for a week. You're going to be at this for a week. Your stream is going. I will
Yeah.
participate in the next digging.
Okay.
When you're done with your stream, send me the schematic, and then we can work on this when you're on next.
Perfect. Planning.
I will
and
be
stuff.
here for moral support. I will be here for moral support, and I'm gonna go get. Actually, I can probably go get rooted dirt.
Hey, there you go. I'll just start.
Actually, I don't want to get
digging.
rooted dirt.
Do what
Also,
you
those
would ever like to do.
I don't know what I want to do.
I know, me too.
How much fluff do you still need?
It's not something super pressing at the moment. Let me just jump out of the game, get
I got
replay
8
mod
shulkers
started.
already. It's like, is that a good amount of shulkers? I have 8 shulkers of tough already for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna need more.
Oh. How much? What would you do if I told you that I had a double chest full of shulkers full of tough? What would you do?
I would ask you, why is it not my storage room?
You are so lucky you're on stream right now and I have to watch my mouth. You are so very lucky. Because I'm going to tell you exactly where you can shove that tough.
Oh my. Well.
Right up your butt.
Oh. Well, that's a... Be interested in see how you'll find me, but... Anyways, staying focused.
I'm looking at your stream. You're acting like this is really hard to find you. I'm looking at your stream. You are literally showing your current position to the internet.
Well, I mean, I'm currently in free cam flying around loading chunks.
My brother in Christ, 2 people are watching the stream, and I am half of them.
Yeah, I'm not expecting this to be like the greatest stream in all of Minecraft, and it's just kind of one of
Then
those
you
like
should have been present for my stream, my premiere.
I had a lot going on at the moment.
All
Oh,
of which should have been watching my stream and being there to be supportive.
listen, I was already making enough irresponsible choices.
Are you trying for another kid?
No, 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 no. We I ended up getting a puppy.
Don't know what's worse.
Why?
Yeah, right. Because it was a family friend of ours, and they were offering. And they're just like, "Hey, you can take this dog home with you." We were just like, "That's hard to pass up."
What kind of dog?
Purebred chocolate lab.
Oh, puppy!
I know. He is absolutely adorable.
Is he the goodest boy?
He's the sleepiest boy right now.
Oh, he's the sleepiest little boy. Oh, doggy.
Yeah, I'll share a picture after the stream.
The Mibsile is sleepy. He's so tired of splashing bandits. He EBs and EBs to sleepies.
Yeah, we named him Gunner.
How very generic.
Well, you see, most people name their dogs Gunner just because it sounds good. I wanted to name it Gunner because it'd be short for Gunnery Sergeant, which is a rank in the Marine Corps in which I served. It's also an MOS within the Marine Corps for an actual gunner.
If I had a nickel for every time a lab I knew was named after some term in the military, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice.
Well, now it's more than just a coincidence. When will the new video be from the SMP? So that's what we're currently working on right now to answer your questions.
Yes, time. When will it be?
Chesney Chen. So yeah, this is going to be a huge project, and this is part of it. I know I am being absolutely horrible about my upload schedule, and I promised everybody in my video that it was going to be out around this time. But here I am just digging out the lake. But once the lake is dug out, it should start going a lot faster because everything else has been prepped. We've already removed an entire dark oak forest, and Bleaker has removed several birch forests, as well as I have removed a jungle biome. So the area is prepped outside of the lake.
I removed a mansion.
A woodland mansion, yep.
I removed I removed a dark oak forest. I removed several birch I removed multiple dark oak forests. I removed
just
mushrooms.
an entire biome of dark oak forest.
At this point, I think I've deforested like that was one biome, 2. That was a 3rd, 4, 5. I want to say I've deforested 5 biomes.
That checks
and then I
out.
helped you with number 6.
Yeah, that completely checks out.
Not that I'm trying to like flex on time, but I honestly think I've removed like 6 biomes at this point, of full biomes of wood.
Yep, just one of those big projects that's me in typical Time Architect fashion is not capable of judging how long a project will take. So it's one of those, oh yeah, I can knock out this entire dark oak forest in a weekend. And I think it ended up taking us 2.5, 3 weeks of just for the dark oak, and then we still needed to do the surrounding forest as well.
To your credit, though, at one point it was just like, you see this, Bleaker? No. Got it, boss.
Make it go away.
Make it go away. Make it not exist anymore. Okay.
Yeah, did we add Bleaker to the server for the sole purpose of helping us grind? Maybe? Is he doing exactly that? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Oh, we have mobs. Where did I put my bed?
Just check your butt.
Oh.
Here, I'm close enough.
I don't even... Like, I need to find this stuff so that way I can empty out my inventory. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a very long, drawn-out process. So let's go ahead and do grass there.
Understatement of the year.
And then... I guess this would be... dirt.
On an unrelated note, did you like the 20 or so days that you saw? Was it okay?
Oh, I started watching it from the beginning again.
Oh, well, what you have seen, was it all right? Did I get you enough in it? Like,
Yes. I think
did I put you in too much? Did I talk about you too much?
I mean, the things you said about me, I don't know if I'd want to repeat to my mother, but yeah. Just kidding. It's live. It's on the internet.
Heck it, we're doing it live.
Doing it live.
Yeah, so you're, I don't know if you've been down in your mining area lately.
Not in a warm minute. I did peek at it like a week or so ago.
Anyways, you'll find it's much more lit up now.
Oh, perfect.
Also, the only thing that I have is pickaxes down here that you loaned me.
Oh,
Just picks.
you need some shovels?
I will eventually need shovels, but right now I'm not in the market.
Okay.
I'm just not in the market for a shovel right now, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, like I said,
wait, no,
whenever
I
you need
No
one,
touch. Well, they're all
Oh.
mending, so.
that's one way to dig that
I mean,
out.
we're gonna need shovels when I get the schematic and it's time to dig. You know, when you usually tell me, hey, this goes away. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what
my
I
goodness.
hate? You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh, perfect. What grinds your gears?
Do you know what really grinds my gears, Time?
What really
What just
grinds your
absolutely gets my goat?
Hmm.
We emptied this river, right?
Yeah.
You and
yeah.
I.
Yep.
We like tag teamed the heck.
There's the word. Yep.
I hate this. I feel like I can't be allowed to express myself fully.
Yeah.
Where's
But
the
we're keeping it
touch?
family friendly for the sake of it.
Ah!
I know.
I hate this. You know what really gets my goat? What really grinds my gears? What really cheeses me off, Time? We spend all this time
Yeah.
working on this build, right?
Yep.
And we've emptied this river.
Mostly. I still have a little section left, but yeah.
We've mostly emptied this river. This river is like 98% empty.
Mm-hmm.
In a couple weeks, we're gonna fill it back up.
That's gonna be even worse.
My brother in cripes. Why?
Because it looks so much better. Everyone will admit that this lake will look so much better. I know I'm calling it lake, but technically the inspiration for it would classify it as like a lock. Technically.
My brother in cripes. We are putting the water back
So much water. I
after we emptied it.
wonder if there's a way that we can do a flying machine to do like a majority of it. But I feel like
Time.
if we
We're
squared
filling
it,
this thing back up after we emptied it.
yes, there will be a lot of that.
Time. What?
To answer your question, Cobb, no worry about taking off. I just kind of touched into it briefly. So this is a part of the next episode. I am terrible about time management and project estimation, and what didn't help that I took like 2 months of messing around with other projects before I settled on this. But yeah, this is a part of the next episode. It's going to be just an absolutely massive project, like a complete new biome transformation, which includes a completely custom lake.
You know, it's very flattering that people are like asking, like, "Yo, when's the next episode? We're excited." Like that's
Yeah.
gotta feel really good.
I mean, it definitely puts the pressure on. Like I said, I've been meaning to have this episode out by now.
Yeah, this shit better be good.
I hope so.
No pressure, but this better not suck.
I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Half of YouTube is just luck, so.
Shut up.
This is going to take a very long time.
Like that. Don't you talk to me like that, boy.
Hey, welcome in, Gabby.
I've been here this whole time. My name's not Gabby.
That's called chat.
Oh, he's talking to the chat. My bad. I keep forgetting we're live streaming.
So much streaming.
Don't give a heck. I hate live streaming.
I figured
Yeah.
I
Does this
wanted
have
at
to be
least.
child friendly. No children are actually
know.
gonna watch this.
Well, my kids might one day, and you know, I don't want them to see my public dad not match the in-house dad. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Hey kids, Uncle Bleeker's about to teach you a lot of new words.
Oh,
These
no.
are adult words.
Oh.
Who's ready to use the F word?
Your last video was a tent, but an entirely custom homeschool tool. Yeah, it's one of those, like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with small projects. Pretty sure I have 3 different playlists of episodes where I'm doing smaller things, to which at the time I felt like were large projects. But that's the beauty of YouTube. That's the beauty of Minecraft. You can do whatever you want. And if people are watching it and eating it up, all the more power to you. I just hate it when I spend 6 to 8 months on a project and then it gets like 50 views. You know?
Question. What are they
Answer.
eating? Is it gluten free?
What?
You just said, like, when it eats up time, right? Like, what are they eating?
Oh boy.
Is it gluten free? Is it whole grain? Perhaps vegan?
D.
Ooh, are you on one of those carnivore diets? The
I've heard
Atkins.
I've heard good things about that.
Firm with a little give. Yep, that's medium rare. Well, what if somebody wants their steak well done? We politely ask them to leave.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I mean, growing up as a kid, that's how I wanted my steak, but then I discovered that, you know,
I'm sorry. What?
but then I
You better
just
phrase this next part very carefully.
but then I grew up and I discovered that, you know, if I actually want to be able to taste the beauty of steak, that I have to cook it to where it's got some pink or red in the middle.
Okay. All right.
No, I love me a nice like medium rare.
All right. I'm gonna let you off with a warning. Don't let me hear you talking like that again.
Yeah, I hear
How do
you,
you like
Kyle.
your hamburgers? Some pink or no pink? There is a correct answer.
I mean, I really don't care that much. I wolf down burgers so quick.
Yeah, neither do I. I feel like with hamburgers, it doesn't matter as much.
It just needs to be warm and fresh.
Yes. With hamburgers, I don't care if it's no pink. I mean, I prefer some pink, but I'm not going to turn my nose up at a hamburger that's got no pink in it.
I will not send back a burger if it's got a little pink in the middle.
I will not send back a burger if it's got no pink in the middle.
I might complain a little bit.
Go ahead, uncook this burger.
I might complain a little bit if it's like dry.
Oh,
but...
yes. Like, there's a difference between, like, hey, this burger is done, and this burger is charred.
This burger is beyond saving.
Beyond burger.
No, that's the soy stuff. We don't mess with that.
Dude, have you seen, like, the list of ingredients in, like, soy burgers?
Yes.
That's just not healthy. Like, wow. Like, it's... Like, I feel bad.
You
like,
know
I
what?
get that...
It's people's choice, man. If people want to put that in their body, they can.
People's choice, but that's just not healthy. Like, there's so many ingredients in that. Like, there's so many ingredients in everything these days, but...
I was gonna say, what doesn't have a lot of simple ingredients?
But my point still stands. Like, in those Impossible Burgers, like, man, that is not healthy.
You know, if I was smart, I would have planned this in a way that probably could have been more entertaining as far as for the replay mod. But I'm just kind of winging it. Like you said, we're doing it live.
I mean, isn't that why you invited me here?
Yeah, but I didn't have enough foresight to send you the schematic and show you how I want to attack this thing.
Why are you attacking this build? It didn't do anything to you.
Oh no, it's done so many things to me.
Show me on the anatomical correct doll where this build touched you.
Oh no.
What's oh no?
Just oh no to our current.
Oh.
Music still gets a little loud at times. Okay, let's adjust that. It's crazy because it's basically, oh, that's muted. That's about as low as I can go. So if it's still too loud, let me know. and maybe I can try to fix it in the studio in OBS.
Time. You finally answered it. The question.
If you're
How
gonna
low
sleep.
can you go?
Oh
How low
my.
can you go?
Oh, I just realized that I've been paused. How long have I been paused?
Good
Oh,
long time.
Oh,
I was
no.
too polite to say anything.
Don't be like that, Chad. If you see me pause and I'm working on it, absolutely yell at me. I mean, in all reality, this is gonna be probably a 5-minute time lapse, so it's gonna go so fast that you won't be able to tell. Can you sleep? Anybody on the server?
I'm nowhere near a bed. Sorry.
Ah, all right.
I'm in
well,
your basement. Wow, that's a heck of a statement.
Yeah, no, I'm in the middle of nowhere near death
I'm-
space at the moment. So
I'm like deep in the bowels of your basement.
Okay. There's my stuff. And of course, there's a creeper nearby.
Like, I'm toughing it out right now, if you know what I mean.
Oh wow, I see what you did there.
What?
Toughing it out.
Yeah. I figured this is something that I can do.
Watch now, there's gonna be
This-
mobs right where I was flying. Okay. Oh boy. Oh no.
I'm getting you so
Oh.
many deep slate ores right now, man. You're gonna be like, wow, he's got a lot of deep slate ores.
I will always take deep slate. Come on.
No,
Come on.
deep slate
Ow.
ores.
No.
just
Got
the
my
orb,
bed back.
nothing.
Oh my god. There are so many mobs. Alright.
No,
Reload the
here, let me see
area.
if hang on, let me see if I can get to my bed.
Oh, I already slept. It didn't go away. Getting blown up by creepers and stuff. Just reload the area. That should be far enough out.
Be a man, tough it out.
Again with those tough puns, man. You're on it today. I'm gonna need more shovels. This is
Don't
gonna be a
talk about
very...
Don't talk about your feelings. Die of a heart attack at 50.
Oh
Be a
no.
man. Did you know that living is the leading cause of death?
I've heard that of all of the patients that have suffered from cancer, 100% of them have drank water. I don't know what kind of statistic that leads you to.
Hmm. Did you know that 100% of murderers drink water?
Oh no.
That dihydrogen monoxide.
The dihydrogen, you gotta be careful with that stuff, man.
It's the leading cause of drowning.
That could be too much of a good thing right there. This water is delicious. If absolutely zero flavor could be considered
Who the heck
delicious.
thinks water is delicious? You're weird.
I don't
This
know
is
if you
coming
ever...
from, and you're coming from me. And this is coming from me.
I mean, I am pretty weird.
Where's Boss? Boss should be suffering here with us. Boss! Do you have like the boss signal?
No. I mean, I have about as many beacons in the air as I can. I don't think it's gonna help.
I need the boss signal. Boss, I'm gonna start touching stuff.
Just send him a screenshot of you at your base with some TNT, or at his base with some TNT.
That should be fun. You'd probably appreciate that. But you know what happens when I get idle time on a server.
Become destructive.
I become destructive. I need to be constantly entertained.
I need you to be destructive over here at the lake.
Well, I'm being destructive in your basement. It's an accurate statement.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong. I'm usually not, and you people are always shocked when I'm right.
Lethal in excess. Yes, water can be lethal in excess.
Not if you
Love
tough
it.
out.
Not if you tough it out, jeez.
Tough it out.
Just,
Not letting any
Again with the
water get the
puns.
better of me.
just get gills, honestly.
Honestly,
That seems overrated. You know, honestly, what I could use is somebody just running around and picking up blocks. If you'd like to be productive in that way, Bleaker.
well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I'll let you know.
That would actually
Let me
speed things
finish
up.
out this. Let me finish this inventory of tough.
Okay. Yeah, just having somebody chasing me down so I can just focus on removing blocks. And trying to keep the the chat alive here as I struggle to monologue.
Repock, you're a man of class and sophistication, right?
I mean, he is. How did you
Time,
say
don't butt in. It's rude to butt in.
it?
Repock, as I was saying, you're a man of class and sophistication, right?
I guess so.
How do you feel about Australia?
It's alright. It's a prison
Cool.
colony. There's not much else to it.
Is like Australia like Florida but for England?
You do understand Australia is quite far away from the UK.
Yeah, I did pass
if you-
geography.
Okay, good. So no, it's not. Well, I mean, if Florida was its own country, which is still related to the US, then yeah, technically, could be. But no, a more accurate, I think, what is the UK's equivalent of Florida? I could say Cornwall.
I'm so sorry.
So Cobb, are you gonna cut you guys off here? Are you saying that you're not feeling productive right now? Because that was me last night. I was hanging out in
Hit with
Discord
the
with somebody.
atmosphere.
I was just jumping around in my world.
Oh, I'm gonna break my neck. Ow.
Don't do that. I mean, you still got a long ways to go to catch up to our damage taken stat.
I know. I've been slacking.
Might have to
After
play.
4 months. Well, I think it's been about 5 months now since I started planning my starbase.
Well, about time to finish it. Whatever happened to? I'm gonna finish it this weekend.
Well, you see, I realised I needed almost a million cobblestone, so that didn't happen.
I don't
Like,
see the problem here.
Like, you can ask me for like bulk resource grinding. Or I guess I'm not allowed to allocate my own time. You can ask time if I can bulk resource grind.
Time, can I purchase 2 hours of bleaker mining andesite for
And
me?
I purchase a bleaker. God.
Oh, okay, Cobb. So you
You
should be
can
editing.
get
I feel
bleakers
that.
to mine andesite for 2 hours. I need how many shulkers full? That's 1. So I need. Bloody hell, why is there? Is that full?
I
That
didn't
shulker's
actually
full, right?
expect time to like start selling me like that.
That one needs.
Like there was no hesitation. He just enter.
I mean, if you can gather like 6 shulkers full of andesite, that'd be helpful.
No, seriously, how much do you actually need? Like 6 shulkers, man. Crank that out, no problem, real fast.
Well, currently I need 9.5
Oh man.
All right.
because I've already
Lost again.
gathered a good few already. This is just the andesite though, so.
Do you have a place where I can go and gather it? As I'm not
Currently?
just gonna like grind it in Time's basement. That would be rude.
Currently just stealing it from around Def's base, like in the walls of all of the giant pits he's been digging. I have received permission to do this,
Sure.
so it's fine.
All right.
But yeah,
Follow-up question. I hope you don't mind. I want to make sure that I understand the job fully. Where is his base?
I'll just tell you the nether coordinates. Give me a second.
Yeah, just give me a minute here. I need to.
Ignore the fact that it says there's a raid. There's totally nothing going on.
Well,
And,
with my luck, I'll walk in and just get like violently assaulted by
the one pillager. There
the
is
one
one.
villager.
Yeah, I can't
Wherever.
find him. Nothing's died yet. So
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna interject on your guys' conversation here so that way I can kind of keep this thing going. I mean, if you guys want to jump into a different channel, that's all right. We're gonna be discussing those things. I know, big mean boss over here, but yeah, Cobb, I am dreading when I have to edit this. This is gonna be hundreds of hours that I will need to try to figure out a way to make entertaining.
Well, look
Not
at
to
this
mention
guy.
all the replay files.
Oh, look at this guy. He gets a fan base, and now he's treating me like garbage.
Oh, don't be like that.
My feeling is injured. Hurt, in fact. How will I ever recover? So, Time, tell me.
Telling you.
I don't know where I was going.
Oh, okay. I need to think of a story to tell or something that I can just sit there and ramble on about something. What should I talk about?
How do you feel about the act of smoking meat?
Okay, well that's a great conversation. Smoked meats? I feel like those are some of the most delicious things that we have the pleasure of eating. I love me some smoked meats. Surprisingly, one of my favorite smoked meats are the either a good brisket, and I was introduced to a smoked bologna when I lived in Texas. And you want to talk about a cheap but food that you can just sit there and eat all day, especially like if you're drinking, doing some day drinking. Not that I recommend that, but if you are participating in that, good smoked bologna, just munch on that all day. And then what do they normally smoke, like kielbasa or something like that? That's
Yes,
delicious.
I've had smoked kielbasa. Smoked kielbasa is the best.
Especially if you get a nice spicy one or something.
I'll show you a spicy kielbasa.
Ooh. I'm not the biggest fan of like a smoked chicken, but you know, smoked fish, delicious. Applewood, underrated. I can't say that I'm not gonna call it snobby. Snobby is not the right word. I'm not picky enough to really distinguish. I'm like, oh, I can definitely tell that that's been smoked with a hickory, you know, pellets versus an applewood or something. Like, I can't pick that up. I'm just like, this tastes good or this tastes okay. I'm kind of the same way with alcohol, to be honest. Either it tastes good or it doesn't. I can't sit there and be like, yes, I'm getting notes of juniper berries in the morning dew.
Oh yes, a heady vintage, absurd yet flaccid.
Yes. Yeah, I'd love to be munching on some smoked meat right now.
I lost Reebok.
Oh no. He didn't want to talk. Oh,
hello.
Oh, here. Where did I put that shulker? Oh, there.
Yeah.
I put it in my hop.
Put down a shulker and... What are we looking for?
Andesite.
So let me know, chat. What's your favorite smoked meats if you partake?
I'm pretty sure I've got all of it from this
particular one.
Kit, but there's quite a bit in the other one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
I've got a good few in my inventory at the moment.
So I actually went out fishing on Father's Day, and we caught a bunch of trout. Well, not a bunch. We ended up keeping 3 of those trout. I mean, we were catching them about every 10 minutes. We were just hooking them up. It was fantastic. Great way to be spending Father's Day. Yeah, we ended up taking 3 home. Got them all filleted up and in the freezer. I'm actually thinking about smoking those. I mean, I don't own a smoker, so I will be handing them over to my stepfather, or I think one of my buddies said he'd do it for me.
We have permission to dig around here?
Yeah.
Alright. What happens if you run out?
Of what?
Andesite to dig around here?
You can always come out to this area once I start to get more stone exposed and get the andesite out of
steal
here.
andesite from around town. Exactly.
We'll just go steal andesite from around town. Bring it around town. Bring it around town. Bring it around town.
Wrong shot.
Then do this, and do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and that, and finally... It's a giraffe! You wouldn't happen to have any torches, would you?
I can give you like 25, yeah.
Didn't I give you like an entire shulker of torches?
No. Well, actually, I think you gave me a stack or 2, but I did a lot of lighting up in that cave. I did a ton of lighting up in that cave. I just don't have any in my workbox, which is...
Gotcha. Yeah, because I gave you like 5 stacks or something like that.
Yeah, I used them all lighting up down there. I was very busy. I was very productive. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but like I did a lot of good work down there, lighting up stuff.
Doing the thing.
You told me to dig, so I dug, and well, I dug into more caves, if you can believe it. And even if you can't believe it, Time,
I
tell me,
believe.
can you believe it's not butter?
I mean, that's probably one of the most unhealthiest things you can put in your body, margarine, but yeah.
Cool. Did you ever watch the show Kids Next Door?
Never heard of it. Smoked fish is a good option. I think that probably steer towards the popular opinion of smoked brisket. Have you ever had a smoked brisket baked potato? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, that's so incredibly good. That's another thing I discovered when we were in Texas. Smoked
Texas.
brisket, yeah. Smoked brisket baked potato. All the fixins. That is a fantastic meal.
Really go for smoked fish dip right now.
Most smoked fish what?
Smoked fish dip.
Okay.
So you smoke fish, mix in like mayonnaise and other various. I don't know the exact ingredients, but like a lot of mayonnaise, like some cayenne pepper for some kick. There's a bunch of stuff in it. My uncle makes it. It's really good.
Hmm.
It's like that stuff is my crack, which makes actual crack, I guess, my meth.
A good analogy. Yeah, we actually had chili dogs for dinner last night, and man, I would have absolutely subbed that out for a brisket baked potato. Easily.
What actually even is brisket?
So it's basically on the chest of the cow.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So that's actually where the brisket generally comes from, and it's very, as I recall, it's got a lot of like muscle fibers, muscle strands in it.
Very tough, yeah.
It's very tough. So
That's why you want to smoke it, to break down the fibers.
So it's kind of incredible. Like you have to basically cook this brisket for like 8 hours before the meat is actually edible. But brother, when it's done, oh.
Yeah. Over here in the UK, we seem to prefer more of the fatty side of meats now. It used to be a lot. We used to prefer a lot more lean meat, but now we've all, for some reason, gone towards fat meat as a country. So yeah, that's more or less become a lot more obscure then.
That was going to be my follow-up question is, of the briskets, do you prefer the pieces that have the really thick charred outside, or do you prefer the softer, fattier portion?
They call that the bark.
Oh yes, the bark, of course.
The bark. I don't know why, but that's what they call that. Just for your education.
I knew that, but I had forgotten. So thank you for that reminder.
You're welcome. Now, back to Repok's comment there, with fattier meats, there's a lot more flavor.
True.
So, I can understand the switch of generally going towards fattier meat, because it's going to be a more
Juicier,
flavorful experience.
Yeah.
I don't know juicier. Well, probably would be, but it's just going to be, your flavor is in the fat. You want the fat to melt into the meat when you cook it. So basically what Repok is saying is they are leaning more towards flavor.
Have a good night, Cobb. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry. Continue.
Oh, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
Now, to answer your question between like the bark or the juicier bits, I couldn't pick one over the other. Normally, I like bark on my juice. I like the outside bark on the meat when I, have brisket, because I believe it's all adds to the experience, adds to the flavor profile. Oh.
I've always been a huge fan of the bark. I've not really into the super fatty portions, but that's also because I grew up eating a lot of the cheaper steaks. So fat was not something that I was really that interested in eating growing up.
Skirt steak is one of my favorite steaks.
Burnt steak?
Skirt. Skirt steak. Typically a lower cost, but I think it's really good.
I mean, for me, there's absolutely no argument. I'd prefer a good filet mignon.
Oh,
Yeah.
You'd have to hate America to not like a filet mignon.
Like whenever we go to a bocce grill or something,
Oh,
give me that filet mignon.
actually, I
Put it
haven't
in
been
my
to
mouth.
hibachi in forever, but
Oh,
I
so good.
I usually get fish. I love
Really?
well, look at it this way. I live in the Midwest. You know, getting a good steak, not hard.
True.
Whereas, so like for me, it's like getting good fish, very difficult. Not very difficult, but you're far
Well,
more likely to get really bad fish.
Well,
You
for
know?
like to interject quickly, like inland lakes, you're gonna have a lot of your trout and stuff like that from where they've stocked the lakes. But for instance, like I would only prefer like a tropical fish when I'm somewhere tropical. Like give me a snapper or give me what was the other one? It's the same name twice. I cannot think what else. Mahi mahi. Yes.
Which is dolphin.
What?
That's dolphin.
Like
Mahi.
a species of dolphin?
Not like flipper,
Yeah.
but no, mahi is dolphin. Pretty sure it's dolphin.
Yeah, give me a good
Yeah, I'm
black
pretty
and...
sure mahi is dolphin.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Hey, sorry, continue with what you're saying about
Oh,
in
we
your
were
area.
talking about hibachi.
Yep. And
So like, I live
steaks
in the
your area.
Midwest. It is not hard to get a good steak. It's just not. You know, cows are plentiful.
Indeed.
Now, however, seafood, getting good seafood is very difficult. I'm kind of tired of freshwater fish. I can only have so much perch before I like lose my mind.
True.
So for me, when I go to hibachi, I very rarely get steak. I like to think that they have decent enough seafood. So like I am looking for fish. There's a hibachi place up here that's perfectly adequate, and the swordfish is pretty good.
I don't think I've ever had swordfish. I've had a whole bunch of catfish when I was in Texas. Some good fried catfish.
Catfish fritters?
I didn't have any fritters.
Or
But
was it catfish? Oh, what do they call it? It's got like a specific name, but I can't think of what it is.
it was mostly, I think, just a fillet deep fried catfish.
Catfish fillets, good
Yeah.
enough. Regardless of what it was, like, yeah, I'm typically, if it's like, I love seafood. I love seafood over steak. Like, if you were to hold a gun to my head and say I could never have steak again, and only have seafood, I'd probably be fine.
Okay.
However, like,
Vice versa.
I would much rather have like salmon. Saltwater salmon over steak.
I do love me some salmon as well.
Don't get me wrong, I love meat. I love meat so much. But fish really does it for me.
Not to mention fish is exceptionally healthy for you.
You know, that's something that they've been debating. Well, fish is very healthy for you, but like they're starting to show that like countries that eat a lot of red meat are usually healthier. Or they're starting to see that we've been kind of not necessarily misled, but maybe misinformed about how unhealthy red meat is.
That sounds about right.
You know which? Well, it's like one of the countries that Hong Kong, they eat far more red meat than even we do in America, and they have a longer life expectancy.
I think I've seen it.
I'm sure there's more to it than just that, but
there's always more to it.
Like our ancestors ate red meat religiously. I mean, I will admit some of them lived to the ripe old age of died in childbirth, but still, like we are evolved to eat meat.
Well, also the age expectancy has gone up considerably since our ancestors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they were considered in their prime at 18 or something like that, and you're like, oh wow, you made it to 45, you're old. You know?
Old. Anyways. But don't get me wrong, love meat, but seafood just edges it out ever so slightly for me.
But now that I'm an adult and I'm more open to trying things than I was as a child, I have discovered sushi and I'm in love with it.
Bless your heart.
I love
love
sushi.
sushi is my favorite meal.
So good.
Yeah. Like, for my birthday, my mom always makes me tuna poke. Shout out to my mom.
You're the best.
I'm 29 years old and I still go to my parents' house
Yeah,
for dinner.
sashimi.
Yep.
All of it. Just give me a crunchy roll. Give me a regular roll. I don't care. Just not
The
too
only
much
fish
avocado.
that I've... Well, you see, I like avocado, so for me, I don't care what's in the roll. Octopus is the only thing that I have found that I don't really care for, just because it's very chewy.
Yes, I had some squid once upon a time ago, and I agree.
Yeah. However, the sushi restaurant that we go to, they have a baby octopus salad, so nothing left to the imagination. It's like, you look in the bowl, there's no doubt that you're eating baby octopus. But I digress. Like, that's really good for whatever reason. I haven't had that in so long, mostly because they're like ginger dressing. Their house salad with ginger dressing is, oh, excuse me, pretty bomb. But yes, like, salmon is like my favorite. I think it's got a great flavor profile. It is an oil fish, so oil fish typically have a lot more flavor.
Yes.
I think tuna is another oil fish, but I've had plenty of tuna. Like,
oh, tuna's like a steak. Steak of the sea, man.
Salmon is where it's at for me.
Tuna's a red fish, red meat fish.
Tuna's the red fish, yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, time.
Thank you. I watched the show
Tuna
about
is
it once.
the red fish. I like the orange fish.
One fish, two fish.
All right, calm down.
Milk 'em, grill 'em, stick 'em as do.
How have you made it this far in life?
Not by my own doing, man.
Despite your best efforts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, my palate has changed considerably as I'm growing up. There was something that I was just eating yesterday. I'm like, there's no way I would have been caught dead eating this. Even like 6 years ago. I cannot remember what it was off the top of my head.
Your taste buds change, like,
Yeah.
completely. I wanted to say it was like every 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, yeah.
Like, it's not. It was a surprisingly relatively short period of time.
Well, your body, remakes itself every 3 years or something like that? It's completely changed all of its cells out, I thought.
I think that might be it. Every 7 years is when that.
And I think your blood is completely changed, like every 4 weeks or 6 weeks.
That one's actually pretty fast. That one
Yeah.
is actually pretty fast, as I recall.
Crazy.
But anyways, yeah, sushi is the best. Like, I could eat sushi most nights of the week.
If I had the budget for it, I would too.
Oh yeah, the grocery stores by me have it, and it doesn't.
Same.
It holds me over for when I can get to like a decent restaurant.
Yeah, it takes the edge off.
Yeah. Like, after I finished editing that video last night, I'm rewarding myself, and I went and bought sushi.
Thinking I want some treats.
Yeah, I earned it. Like, I'm gonna reach out to you in like 2 weeks, and we're gonna need to finish that thing. We apparently missed several boss fights.
I think I've seen that in the live chat. I kind of lurked and scrolled back.
That's fine, yeah. Apparently we missed several boss fights, so we're gonna have to figure that. I don't plan on going back for them, and because I've been told there's like a whole post game that we'll have to beat. But if we like finish up and we're only like 15 days in, we might go back for some of that other content.
Just realized that I did not add your channel to my description for the members. I feel terrible. So instead, here's the live shout out. Hey everyone, Bleaker is an amazing content creator that likes to play custom Minecraft maps as well as grind out us with huge projects. I highly recommend you going and checking out Bleaker's channel right this instant. I would even recommend you stop watching my live stream so you can go and watch his video. Better?
I don't think we ever had an issue, but sure.
I don't know, you sounded pretty offended.
You didn't watch my video that I worked 4 months on?
I read your
do like
script
the
through
running-
like 3 times, so.
Yeah, that's fair. I do like the running joke now that I have going that the video editor and I are 2 separate people.
You know a
It
guy.
just started off as a joke I made in my top 10 Minecraft video, and I've just been kind of running with it.
Your alter ego, your second personality, your subject matter expert.
Yeah, there's the video editor me, the video editor, script writer, does the actual work, and then there's the narrator me, which has all the who gets to have all the fun.
I think if you make another one where it's just solely you doing everything, you don't have the pleasure of my company. Anyways, you should actually roll like an end credits like they do in a proper cinema film, and just have like executive producer Bleeker, assistant sound director Bleeker, visual effects artist Bleeker.
Yes. Oh, did you like the credit scene I sent you at the end?
Yes.
I sat down for 10 minutes and came up with absolutely arbitrary titles. 10 minutes.
Nice.
I figured you'd really like yours.
Of course.
Assistant 2, the president of arbitrary titles and narrator. Yeah, I kind of got inspired by that because my buddy who made the thumbnail, he's like, I want to be listed as Chief Goober. I'm like, I can do so much with this, actually. This is great.
The wheels are turning.
The wheels are turning, and it is not good. I have been left alone for more than 5 minutes without adult supervision, and I'm going to make it everyone's problem.
That sounds like season 2 of Zetacraft when Ricky introduced me to world editing. He's like, all right, well, that now you kind of have like a little bit of an idea of what you're doing. I'm going to go out to dinner with my wife. Feel free to, keep working on the world. And then he logs back on like 3 hours later, and I completely changed like the entire area. I'm like, I was left unsupervised. And that was the running theme for the whole rest of the season.
Excuse me, I've been left unsupervised for an amount of time?
Yep. I cannot be held responsible for the design and work that I complete while being left unsupervised.
I cannot be held accountable for the things I say while I'm hungry.
Yeah, true. That's another thing.
So, I got a really funny story about that.
Roll it.
Repoc, do you know what IHOP is?
No.
It's like a chain breakfast place.
The International House of Pancakes.
It's like a chain breakfast place, like a chain sit-down diner. It's fine. Have you ever heard of Denny's?
Yes, I've heard of Denny's.
Okay.
So the difference between Denny's and IHOP is you go to IHOP, but you end up at like I go to IHOP, right? But you willingly go to IHOP, but you end up at Denny's. You don't go to Denny's. You end up there.
Okay.
So anyways, my family's supposed to go to Disney World. And so we get to the airport or whatever. It's a smallish one, we've got TSA pre-check and all that stuff, all that jazz. So we're through security in like under 5 minutes. It takes us longer to like get our bags figured out at the counter with the airline than it does to actually go through security. And so we get there, and I guess we get down to the terminal. It's not a very big airport. There's maybe like 4 or 5 gates. And so we're going to Disney World and things like that, and plane broke.
What?
There was just something wrong with the plane. Don't know what, they never told us. Clearly I'm still alive, so they did fix it. But they kept delaying the flight. So we're trying to fly out here like before the butt crack of dawn. Like early morning flight. Because we want to get down there and be on vacation. So it's me, my mom, my dad, and my sister is actually down at Disney World working the Disney College program. So they keep pushing back the flight and pushing back the flight, which I'm cool with. Except like after the 3rd time that they push back the flight, it gets to be damn inconvenient because we end up having to like call whatever line of the airline and like get our flights all switched, and it seems just as we get our flights switched, they push it back again, and they're not really giving us much detail.
Yeah, that's
which was like the worst thing. And I feel so bad for the poor gate attendant. I almost lost my crap on her. Saved it. And again, I realize it's not her fault. We're frustrated. So after like 2 hours of this, my mom's like, all right, we are clearly upset. Let's go get breakfast. We go to IHOP. And we get breakfast. And again, like, this is a very small airport. It's not hard for us to get in and out of security, especially since the only thing that we have is like the only thing that we're bringing through is just our carry-on.
Oh, easy peasy.
We have breakfast, and I feel a lot better about the situation. So we get back, and they're finally like, yep, we had to fly a crew up here from Chicago because they don't have a crew here to actually fix it. Plane's fixed, we'll go on our merry way. And food, we were hangry. And like food suddenly, like getting a full belly of like kind of shitty breakfast was like the perfect way was just like enough to take the edge off. So we got all of our flights switched. We ended up getting into our destination kind of late, which sucked, but I was full and I was happy.
There you go. It's actually pretty nuts about how much like hunger can affect your attitude.
Yes. And the worst part was I was pretty decaffeinated as well.
Ooh, that's just like a perfect
I
storm.
don't drink coffee.
Ooh.
Yeah. Soda.
Ah.
By the time I'm done putting my cream and sugar in my coffee, it's just healthier to start doing drugs.
Dude, I relate to that on a personal level. I was the same way growing up. Like, if it's not basically looking like,
if it doesn't share the same color as milk, I'm not interested.
in texture of like orange juice with all the pulp. Like, there's so much sugar in it that it is no longer like blending into the liquid. You gotta chew your coffee.
Chew my coffee. So that was the power of IHOP. Like, it was just enough. Like, there was really no breakfast place to like go to that early. Actually, it was about like 8 o'clock at that point, but we just needed food, and IHOP was the closest place. So, quick grab food, got in a better mood. It was food, I guess, you know. But the point was, it filled us up, and that's all it needed to do. I don't even know if I had pancakes or not.
I honestly don't go to IHOP for the pancakes. Their stuffed French toast is delicious.
I don't really care for French toast that much.
And they have ones where it's
kind
like
of a
covered
take
in
it or leave it.
strawberries, I think. That one's also really good.
And all the names for their pancakes and their fruit stuff is really stupid. Like,
So
please,
unoriginal.
Mrs. Waitress, don't make me say the root and tooty, point and shooty, fruit cake, orama. like, it's just going to be embarrassing for all parties involved. Please just let me point at the menu like an imbecile.
That's what I do at Mexican restaurants.
I
I'm
want
like,
this one.
I want the number 21, please. 2 beef, extra rice.
At Mexican restaurants, I do give it a shot at trying to pronounce it, but it still doesn't make it any better.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to insult their culture. I will butcher it.
But at the same time, they're the ones who opened up the Mexican restaurant. We didn't ask them to.
You're not wrong.
Like, you've got to come to the conclusion. You've got to understand that we are probably going to butcher their names. You know, like, hey, I'd like 2 delicious tacos, please.
Oh no.
I'm not an idiot. I know how to pronounce tacos.
Tacos.
Tacos? Are you stupid? I do like Mexican food. I am like craving like where I live. There's like no mom and pop like Italian restaurant anywhere near us, or none that I've found to be really good yet. There's a place that I really want to try, but it's a little pricey. But it's like we have Olive Garden. That's pretty much it.
Oh, is that even Italian food?
Let's not talk about it. But
yeah.
Well, the salads. Their soup. Their salad and breadsticks are really good.
I'll just say I'll leave it at this. It's not the Olive Garden that I grew up with, where it's like, oh, put on your fancy shirt. We're going to Olive Garden tonight.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to Olive Garden. Like, what did I do right? Like, all right, I must have gotten all A's or something on my report card.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, oh, it's just go to Olive Garden because it's close.
Yeah. It's fine. You know, Olive Garden is... I do like Olive Garden. I'm not even going to, like, try and turn my nose up at Olive Garden. I like Olive Garden.
If someone's offering to buy me Olive Garden, I won't turn my nose up to it.
No,
Sure.
Mama taught me not to be ungrateful. Like, I love their breadsticks. And the salad.
Me too.
I really like the salad.
Yep. Their soup, too. The Soupa Toscana. Delicious.
I've never gone there and, like, gotten soup, because I always get salad.
My wife found the recipe for that soup, and she makes it at home quite regularly, and I think she makes it better because she adds more meat and all the delicious stuff that I enjoy in my soup.
You can never have too much meat in a soup.
Indeed. Oh, like a good stew. Oh, going back to the meats. Yeah.
But anyways, the point I was getting to is, like, we just do not have a good, like, mom and pop Italian restaurant, which is really a shame. Like, my godmother, like, used to own like a chain of Italian restaurants. Now I think it's just like one or two that her kids own, but they're nowhere near us. Like, we cannot go there in any practical sense of the term. But every time we do go and visit our old hometown, like, we always stop and go to the Italian restaurant. Go get her garlic rolls. Her reckless disregard for how bad butter is for you has never failed to impress me.
How much butter? All of it.
How much butter would you like? Yes. Oh.
How much do you have?
And her pizza. Oh, it's so good. So the cheese that they use is Belgioso. It's
the what? Bless you?
Well, that's the brand of cheese, Belgioso, that they use.
Okay.
Which is really funny because there's a bunch of those over by where I live. The Belgioso cheese factories. Never been inside a Belgioso. I've been inside plenty of other cheese factories, just not Belgioso. But anyways, like, it is the best. Her eggplant, I always get her eggplant parmesan. Oh, it's a little pricier. Like, you would, like, it is a little bit pricier. Like, when I went there this last time and looked at, like, the prices on the menu, it's like, I couldn't believe how, like, you know, like, I couldn't believe, like, how expensive it was. But then they just kept bringing out food. I'm like, I understand why this is so expensive now.
That's kind of...
Because all of the food that comes with, like, the menu did not clarify how much food you would be bringing out.
That's how I feel about Mexican restaurants. It's one of those, like, yeah, it's expensive, but I go out. Oh. I mean, the chips, the salsa, and the entrees, I am...
Well, you see, I have the exact opposite from a price standpoint. Like, the pricing at the Mexican restaurant by us, it's very reasonable. Very reasonable. And as you said, I never leave hungry. I do leave regretting the decision a few hours later. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I never leave hungry. You never realize how little self-control you actually have until somebody puts chips and salsa in front of you.
Oh, dude, for real.
I don't know if this is going to be a controversial statement or not, but I'm going to say it anyways because it's me. Chili's has very good chips and salsa. Now, allow me to defend my position.
Okay.
Their salsa is very good. It's got great flavor, but what really sells me on it is the chips. The chips are very thin and very crunchy, but can still hold up to, like, dipping in salsa.
Aren't they like a super thick salsa as well?
Yes, it is a I would say it's on a scale of like 1 to 10, you're looking at like a 7. So it's thin chips with really good salsa.
It's been a long time since I've been to a Chili's, but I think I remember that.
The chips are so salty and so good and so crisp because they're thin. This last time we went, I told my parents. I went with my mom, my uncle. I think my sister might have been with us too. I don't remember. But on the way there, I'm like, there's a local area by us that does like an outdoor light thing during Christmas, and on our way there, I'm like, we stop at Chili's afterwards. It's kind of become like the tradition. We go do this during Christmas time and then go to Chili's. And on the way there, it's like, you know, I really want the fajitas. Every time I go to Chili's, I don't get the fajitas, and then somebody somewhere near me ultimately gets them, and the chili and the fajita bowl goes by me going,
Yes.
and it's like I immediately like I know what I'm gonna get is good, but it's a little disappointing knowing that the fajitas are not going to me. And on the way there, and even when we were walking through the lights place, I'm gonna get the fajitas. I'm gonna get the fajitas. And then we get there, and I don't order the fajitas.
You panic and you order something else.
It's like the fajitas at Chili's are not inexpensive. I mean, whatever. Nothing's inexpensive. But I digress. I digress. And so it's like I don't really want to pay for fajitas. Like my mom or my uncle was picking up the bill. It's like I don't want to be the one to order like the most expensive thing.
Yes.
So I ordered the usual thing that I get, and my mom was like, "You're not ordering the fajitas?" Well, you're right. You should get the fajitas. I'm not gonna argue with that. I ordered the fajitas. If you insist.
Exactly.
So ultimately, I ordered the fajitas. Coming right to me and being planted right in front of me, and I fully embraced my cherub-like demeanor. I was fed and I was happy.
Every time we go out to the Mexican place that's our favorite, my wife always gets the shrimp fajitas.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
So good. I mean, I personally don't care for shrimp. It's a texture thing for me. I've tried it several times. I've had it several different ways. I just can't get past it.
I make a mean shrimp linguine.
Ooh. There was actually
the first time I made it, I was very... finish your story before I go off on my shrimp linguine tangent.
Oh, I was just going to say the last time I had shrimp was at a Red Lobster in a, like, fettuccine or something. That's all I was saying.
Oh. So the first time I made shrimp linguine, followed the recipe pretty much exactly, threw the shrimp in the oven for like 10 minutes, and the shrimp were perfect. Absolutely perfect. Whatever the recipe, spot on. And you know, like when you make a recipe the first time, you like follow it exactly, and then you make changes afterwards.
Yep, little tweaks.
This
add more
recipe,
garlic.
well, duh. When I make any recipe, like I always add extra garlic. I have never once like made something like I should have thrown less garlic in that.
Agreed.
It's like, there's two ingredients that you measure with your heart, not with a measuring spoon. One of them is garlic, the other one is vanilla.
Agreed.
You measure that with your heart.
Yep, I agree.
And the shrimp was perfect, and then some friends of mine came over for dinner, and we must have miscommunicated like when they were coming over. I thought they were coming at 5:30. I thought they were coming at 5. They actually came at 6. So I had the meal ready at 5 and had to like throw it in the oven to stay warm, and the shrimp got a little rubbery.
Oh.
It was still good, but I was a little disappointed because I am very nervous when it comes to cooking for other people. Actually, I am very nervous.
Just a generally nervous person.
Just generally very nervous.
Yeah, agreed.
But anyway, so I was so disappointed. Like, we tried to get together once already to like, I wanted them to come over. They'd never eaten my house before. You invite them over, and apparently my oven is one that you can't put tinfoil in the bottom of.
Really?
And I put tinfoil on the bottom. Yeah. And it melted on there, and like I had to like call them like as they were on the way. I was already so nervous about like cooking, and then this like the thing with the oven happened. I almost cried.
Oh no!
Like, I am man enough to admit I almost cried. I was just so disappointed. We ended up pulling an audible and like just going out because they just wanted to. They were just happy to hang out. Bless their hearts. I almost cried when they said that, but it was. But finally, I was able to make it for the second time. I was just a little disappointed. Like, if we would have coordinated the times properly, it would have been ready, like, right as they walked in the door. I had that on lockdown, man. Got the water. I had the oven was heated up. I had put the shrimp in. I had the oven heated up to temp. I had the water boiling for the pasta. Put the shrimp in. Wait a minute. Then throw the pasta in. Both of them came out pretty much the same time. I crushed it. The shrimp was perfect once again. I did use a different white wine this time. and it was a much better choice than the first time I made it. It was actually better this time around.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am getting so hungry with all this taco food. I didn't have a
I am.
proper dinner. I just kind of like snacked a little bit.
I was at my parents' house and I had a ham sandwich. Like, it really wasn't enough. And like, I'm still sitting here hungry, but I live in a town where there's like no sort of fast food anywhere near me.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna suffer in silence. And like,
Nope.
there's no food in my house right now, so, which is on purpose so that I don't snack. But I really want to snack.
I hear ya. Honestly, what I could really go for at this exact moment, don't tell my wife, or else we'll probably be driving there. Some
Brisket.
Taco Bell. I was watching another person's stream earlier, and they were talking about going to get some Taco Bell afterwards. I'm like, oh, it sounds so good.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Yeah.
I wonder what happened to the Taco Bell dog.
I mean, that was like 15 years ago that they were using him.
Yeah, the IKEA Taco Bell or something
Yeah.
like that. I think
Yeah.
that was the advertisement.
I'd be quite surprised if he was still alive.
Oh, he's definitely dead. And in other words, they found out that that Taco Bell ground beef is not all beef.
Hey, listen, it's
I
60.
don't.
We're proud of that.
The other 40% is the dog.
It's just paper. Pulp.
Yeah. I hate that, like, in COVID, Taco Bell redid their whole menu. Like, they got rid of the double XL grilled stuffed burrito, which was my favorite. And then they went and, like, jacked up all their prices.
That's my biggest complaint. Is I remember when the 5-layer burrito, my personal favorite, was 99 cents.
And now it's like $5.
That's like $5.99.
Like, come
That
on,
is
guys.
straight robbery.
And then they limited release the Wild Naked Chicken Chalupa, which is a taco, but the taco shell is fried chicken in a taco shell form.
Yep. I remember that. Yep, I
And
had that.
And that was my favorite thing. Absolute favorite thing. The Wild Naked Chicken Chalupa. It was spicy. They had this really good spicy sauce in it. It was so good.
Good
I made my
crunch.
buddy come with me. Who you may remember is the lawyer in the Zetacraft episode.
Ah, yes.
Like, we went and he's like, I don't know about this, man. I'm like, dude, I promise you. This might sound like real indulgence here, but I promise you, this is worth it. And he got one, and you should have just seen his eyes open up.
There's glass over.
Quite possibly there was an angelic choir in the background. I'm not sure.
A beam of light come down. Yep.
Yes. Like, the whole shebang.
Life
And he's
can
like,
change
this
forever.
was the greatest thing. They had the naked chicken chalupa and the wild naked chicken chalupa. And the wild naked chicken chalupa is the good one. They did bring back the naked chicken chalupa a few years later, but it's just not as good as the wild naked chicken chalupa.
I think last time I had it, it was like super dried out, and I was just like, you guys ruined it for me.
I just don't like the sauce they use for the naked chicken chalupa. And I'm still waiting for the day when, for me, it's like when the McRib comes back for other people. Like, that is, like, I have code words ready to go. I have money set aside. Like, I am ready for this thing to make its triumphant return.
I will invest in McDonald's stock if that means the McRib comes back.
I don't like the McRib.
I personally don't care for it. Honestly, McDonald's just doesn't do it for me anymore. That's the most I'll have is like a McDouble and a McChicken.
They're what is it? Their big breakfast I usually get.
Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Glad you could join us. We're talking about food. We were just talking about how on your stream earlier you were talking about Taco Bell. So now we are discussing food.
Oh yes, food.
You messed
I
up a
want
whole
Taco
bunch
Bell
of Taco Bell. Nice.
And
Sorry.
I want Taco Bell to bring back the wild naked chicken chalupa. I don't want much in life. I just want them to bring back the wild naked chicken chalupa.
I've been robbed. Dude, do you...
I will become an influencer. I would become an influencer if it meant guilt-tripping Taco Bell into bringing back the wild naked chicken chalupa. I will compromise most of my principles if it means they bring back the wild naked chicken chalupa.
Did you ever have the double-decker taco?
That was like a taco shell and a taco shell, right?
Yeah, it was a hard shell with a soft one on the outside, and it's like
Oh, yeah, I
smothered in
remember
refried.
that.
Oh, my mom
No,
loved those
I know.
growing ups. Now I make them at home.
They, at one point, Taco Bell had a smothered burrito, which was just like a burrito covered in cheese, covered in like, not in like the grated cheese, not the cheese sauce, and in grated cheese and enchilada sauce.
Ooh.
That was really good. It was basically an enchilada. It was an enchilada, basically, is what it came out to be. It was so good. That was my other favorite, and that was only limited edition.
Yeah, the chat's,
Yeah, I will.
he's talking about the quesarito. Oh, those were good.
I will compromise most of my principles for the wild naked chicken chalupa to come back. Like, I don't want YouTube fame, but if it means the wild naked chicken chalupa comes back, I will compromise principles.
I just want the 5-layer burrito to be 99 cents again, which it never will be.
It never will be.
Because that has a special place in my heart. And I'm going to go off on a little bit of a story about it. So
Right
when
next to the diabetes and the cholesterol.
So when I was on the build up for my first deployment to Afghanistan, I was in a bit of financial stress. So I didn't really get to eat as much as I would care to. And anyways,
You're a big boy too.
I am tall. I'm a tall boy.
That was kind of
record.
implied.
Yeah, for the record. Anyways, what I
For
would
the
do,
record, he's tall. I'm not calling him. Anyways.
I would walk up and down the squad bay that we were staying in. I would like look for loose change and stuff, and I'd just kind of try to find loose change anywhere that I could. And then since they were only 99 cents, whenever I had, $5 or something like that in change, I'd walk to the Taco Bell, which was right across from the barracks, and get like 3 of those or something like that. And just godsend at the time. It's like, I need this. I think eating at the chow hall was like $2 or $3 for each meal. I'm like, that got me by. But yeah, that little bit of Taco Bell treat got me through.
There's surviving, and then there's living.
Mm-hmm. There was at least one
you
point.
You wanted to live Moss.
Indeed.
And there's no faulting you for that.
I remember I was just walking around outside the squad bay one day, and I just noticed by the dumpster that, I don't know if it was a platoon or something like that that had just come back from the field, but they just literally dumped like 4 boxes of MREs. So in each box, I believe there's 12. I was like, oh, I'm taking the crap out of these. They were all completely closed, and the boxes were unopened. Like, they were perfectly fine MREs. They just didn't want them. So yeah, I basically just ate MREs whenever I couldn't afford that.
I saw a post on the internet once, which has a lot less relevance nowadays, but it was like 5 or so years ago I saw it, and it was, y'all have forgotten where you've come from. You're talking how great Chipotle is. Taco Bell was there for you.
Yes.
Where else could you eat good for $5 and get a Baja Blast? I don't get this Chipotle hype. Taco Bell has had your back. Nowadays, that sentiment has a lot less meaning because, weirdly enough, Chipotle is about on par with Taco Bell prices, and I would much rather go to Chipotle.
Indeed.
But
Well,
they still have the Baja Blast.
I just remember, like, this is high school, so I guess at this point, like 15 years ago.
Old!
Yeah, old. I'm old. But I would go to Taco Bell as a hungry teenager, and for $20, I was full. Like, almost just wanting to lay on the ground full.
Taco 12 pack at that point.
Yeah, that's what I would get. I would get the 10-pack or whatever, the grande meal.
Yeah. Oh, the grande meal. I
Oh,
forgot
yes.
about that. Wow.
Yep, you get the grande meal and a few other sides. Mm-hmm. You're
Hmm.
full.
Back when the bean burrito actually had a heft to it.
Yes. Yeah, before it was just a tortilla with a sad little spooning of beans and onions.
Refried beans. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had it so good. Me and my buddy, when we were in high school, we would go to McDonald's and like we would just like eat off the dollar menu. We would each
Mm-hmm.
get 2 McChickens and a large soda, $3
Yep.
plus tax, so like $3.15. And then you could also get like dipping sauce with it too. They actually had like a spicy McChicken that you could get for a little while, as I
Yeah.
recall,
Yep.
which was really good. And it was like we could eat real good for under $4.
I remember this is once again high school era when I was working full time that I'd go on my lunch break and I'd go to Subway and the $5 foot long was all
Yep.
$5. You know, they'd sub out which one it would fall into for that week, but the chicken bacon ranch, that thing was $5. Oh, so good.
Subway a long time ago had a chicken parmesan sub, and that was my favorite.
I do remember
And
that one.
they actually had a corned beef one at one point, which was also
What?
really good. Yeah, it was corned beef. Couldn't believe it.
I would try that.
It was
I love me a good
the
corned
corned beef was a little tough, but
course.
it's also Subway, so manage
Yeah.
expectations.
Exactly.
I thought it was really good. I genuinely enjoyed it. Unabashedly, unashamedly, I enjoyed their corned beef sub.
I always did.
But I
yeah,
feel like Subway doesn't do anything like new and exciting like that anymore.
they're just
now
trying
they've
to
got
keep
the
their head
whole
above water.
Now they've been bought by Arby's.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, a couple months ago I think. I don't know. But anyways, it's like now they've got this stupid numbering system for their subs. You could still build your own custom sub. Like I still get the meatball. The meatball is my favorite, which is great because it's one of the cheaper ones, and they're still pretty healthy about how many meatballs they put on the thing. But I digress. But Subway used to be so adventurous with the subs that they offered. Like, if I want like a corned beef sub nowadays,
Look at you funny if you order that.
Firehouse subs.
I'm
Lately,
a
even
Jersey
even
Mike's
that
guy.
hasn't been. I do like Jersey Mike's, but even lately, like Firehouse subs hasn't been hitting the way it used to. I don't know what it is. Like they had a pastrami sub. It was incredible, and now it's like they don't put a lot of meat on it anymore, and whatever sauce they put on it isn't the greatest neither. I don't know if it's just straight mayo or what the hell it is, but it's not very good. And it makes me very sad. But Jersey Mike's is very respectable. It's a very respectable sub shop.
Yeah, it was either Jersey
What do you
Mike's
get?
or Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's wouldn't be. All right, I've got a hot take about Jimmy John's.
All right, let's hear it.
Jimmy John's would not be as good if their delivery wasn't like the best.
I guess I've never had it delivered. I've always gone and picked it up.
Yeah. It would not be if the state of Jimmy John's subs right now, they are fine. They would not be as popular if their delivery wasn't like the best. Delivery is what keeps Jimmy John's above water. I guess that and like they crank those babies out really fast.
Yes. So I'm gonna kind of sidetrack here and answer the chat. The $5 footlong was absolutely supreme, but yes, I agreed it was not sustainable. Similar to the Red Lobster's all you can eat shrimp thing that's that basically bankrupted them. That's probably where Subway was going. Yeah, 15 bucks. I don't even go to Subway anymore. Like it's lost all of its charm for me.
Subway's like the only place to eat in our town. I guess the pizza place you can like order ahead, but
I think the last time we went to a Subway was just on a whim. We were just looking for something. We're like, oh, let's go for a sub. There's a Subway right here. It was close to our house. We didn't want to drive all the way up the hill to go to the Jersey Mike's. So I ended up going there. My wife got sick from it. So it's just like, all right, well, that's the nail in the coffin for Subway for us. Because it was like the stereotypical experience with you had this high school chick working there who clearly did not want to be working that day. I think it was a holiday or something like that.
Oh, that poor
yeah,
lady.
so we're just like, Yep,
Understandable.
Yep. That just ruined it for us.
As a former customer service employee and at a low-level job like that, totally get it. I wouldn't want to be there either. In fact, I will apologize sometimes for walking in. The place could be closing in like an hour, and I'll still apologize for showing up late. Like, sorry, I know I'm here late. Like, we're still open for another hour. I know, but I feel like I have to apologize. Like, I will not walk into, like, a place like a Subway or a Jimmy John's or anything if there's, like, a half an hour until close.
Oh, no.
45 minutes, I might. A half an hour, I won't.
So, I personally, I think that the bread from Subway is tough. I don't think I've had tough bread from Jimmy John's.
Oh, I thought all of Jimmy John's bread was kind of tough.
Really? I mean,
But
my typical...
But I like it. But I like it tough. Like, I
Ah.
feel like tough bread holds the sandwich together better.
Yeah, most of my... I think the Jimmy John's, I do like the bacon Italian or something like that. Forget what it's called, but that's what I typically get there. When I'm at Jersey Mike's, I'll get the Philly cheesesteak, which sounds so weird to be getting that from a sub shop.
No, it's perfectly. That's like their thing.
I love me a good Philly cheesesteak.
I just get the Italian. I'm not very adventurous when it comes to sub places. Actually, I judge sub places based off their Italian.
That's respectable. That's something that I used to get a lot, was the Italians. That combination of the meats and cheese, they just got it on point.
I was in Chicago once for a training, and they ordered subs from this mom and pop place. And it had to have been like authentic Italian meat.
Really?
Oh my god, it was the best it was the best Italian sub I've ever had. Like, it had to have been like authentic.
No
authentic
kidding.
Italian meat from like a mom and pop place, because it was an incredible. Oh my god, like it was amazing. It was an amazing sub. And I'm usually not that picky. Hey, is there food? My favorite kind of food is free.
No kidding. That's how I am with my company lunches.
Like, well, to an extent. To an extent on the company lunches. Sometimes they bring in these box lunches, and they're not very many redeemable qualities.
That's a crime.
I guess the bag of chips is good.
I feel the same way about the noodle express that they normally order in for us. That's always soggy, always cold. Not something I would go out of my way for.
My coworkers, we used to order. We used to get a Chinese food from this place near us, near work. Have I ever told you? Have I ever given you my not story? Have I ever given you my overview of Chinese food?
No, you haven't. But before you go into it, I just want to answer the chat again. Pretty gross. He said he just bit down into a sandwich and all the stuff slid out because it was like plasticky. Nobody likes bad food. Anyways, sorry, continue.
Alright, so there's different calibers of Chinese food.
Agreed.
You know, again, that's nothing special. There's different calibers of all kinds of food. But Chinese food, I feel like, is interesting. Because you can go to 2 different Chinese restaurants and get a drastically different experience.
Oh, 100%.
Drastically different experience. So, like, with subs, like sub shops, like, they have their nuances, but when it comes down to it, it's still just a sandwich.
True. Yeah, I would
there's
agree with
not
that.
really that much variance in a sandwich. Actually, I kind of take back. There is some variance in sandwiches and sandwich shops, but not to the extent that I believe Chinese food is.
Well, also because subs are kind of just raw ingredients combined onto a sub, but Chinese food and stuff is like different ingredients, different seasonings that go into it.
Yes. So there's different, in my opinion, there's very different calibers of Chinese food. You have your fancy Chinese food. And your kind of fancy Chinese food sits in its own tier. And then from there you kind of pick, like, and from in that tier you kind of rank it. Like, hey, this is the sit-down kind of fancy Chinese food. Here's where it ranks A to S. You then have your greasy spoon Chinese food.
The gut bombs.
Like what?
The gut bombs.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily gut bombs, but there is greasy Chinese food. Like your greasy spoon takeout Chinese food.
Yep.
Like your takeout Chinese food from a takeout place is vastly different from like the takeout from like a Chinese restaurant that's intended to be sit down. So those are my two calibers of Chinese food. You have your greasy spoon Chinese food that's meant to be takeout, and then you have your kind of fancy Chinese food that's intended to be sit down. And from in those two categories, you kind of relate it A to S, or S to F tier. There's a place near where we work that is definitely like the S tier of greasy Chinese food. It is so greasy, but it is so amazing. And we used to order from there all the time. I don't know why we stopped. They had these fried dumplings. Oh. Oh. It was just like the greatest thing I have ever eaten. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Their beef lo mein, oh. Actually, just their lo mein was excellent. It was. So the place where this Chinese restaurant is, to give you context, is kind of on like the like on the same street as like a whole bunch of bars, like the bar scene.
Mm-hmm.
In where near I work is. And so it's also kind of next to like a college too, but so it's like the college bar scene as well.
Gotcha.
So like they definitely like it is the right Chinese food for the area. Like you're intoxicated. You're not going for fancy sit-down Chinese food.
No.
You are going for greasy
Substance,
Chinese food.
yes.
You want substance in that stuff. You don't want anything hoity-toity. You need grease to like be able to like pound through the obstinance of your taste buds when you are intoxicated.
I want to regret it in the morning.
Surprisingly, I don't think I've ever regretted. Like, I feel greasy and dirty like after I'm done eating there, but it's very short-lived. It is a very short-lived feeling, which
That's
kind of
the thing
also
about
aids
Chinese
to
food. Yeah.
which also kind of aids to the fact that that's why I rank it like as an S-tier greasy Chinese food place. Yes, I feel terrible for about 15 minutes, and then that feeling goes away and is replaced with satisfaction.
So I'm gonna kind of change the subject just for a quick second to kind of answer the chat here. Ricky was kind enough to ask, is taco a sandwich? To which I would agree, yes. What's your take on that?
Taco is a sub. It's a Mexican sub.
I still think there's a video that I watched a long time ago or something that I read, and it was talking about how you could classify like every single food into 4 categories. I think it was soup, salad, or sandwich or something like that. No, it wasn't that, because I think
It would be salad, sandwich. Because like pasta is basically salad.
Yeah.
Ingredients tossed in sauce.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, if your taco ripped, because a sandwich is going to be 2 pieces of bread containing something.
True.
I don't know what that something is. Now a taco is not 2 pieces of bread. A taco is 1 piece of bread.
Unless it's a tostada.
Well, it could be corn as well, but for all intents and purposes, this is a wheat tortilla, not a corn tortilla.
I like the flour ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry, flour. There we go. We got there in the end. If anything, a taco is a sub. Actually, a taco we could say is like its own category of food. Like a sub is a taco.
So
One piece of bread that's cut is a hot dog, a sandwich. No, a hot dog is a taco unless the bun gets ripped. Then it's a sandwich. So it's 2 pieces of bread.
I really want to try to find that article or video, because there were some very valid points in there that make you think.
Honestly, I don't really care. I'll just take some extreme position just to be funny.
There you go.
And then I will argue it to death.
For the sake of
arguing. And
arguing.
take even extremer positions to solidify my already extreme position. just for the lulz. Like, a Pop-Tart is actually a ravioli.
Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my god. No. What have you done to me?
I've broken you.
No.
It finally
It
happened.
totally
I told
matches
you.
that description.
Which also means that a toaster strudel is technically ravioli.
So weird to think about that, but there
also means
is
that
no
cereal
argument
is-
against that.
Which also means that cereal is a salad.
I can see that. Once again, another thing I would not argue. It's just, that's so weird to think about. Hope we got some eyes opening in the chat now. We're on the touchy subjects now. This might be more heated than a politics discussion.
Bring it. I will take any extreme position and then argue it with maximum ridiculousness.
Ricky, feel free to jump in the Discord if you want to do a live debate here.
Toaster strudels all the way, baby. Heck Pop-Tarts. Just because toaster strudels have more filling. Although the grab-and-go-ness of Pop-Tarts is something to be considered.
Yes, agreed.
Depends on the context. Am I grabbing and going? Pop-Tart. Do I have, like, 5 minutes? Toaster strudel.
I would 100% support that.
Toaster strudels are always my go-to. If I've got, like, any amount of time, toaster strudel.
My problem is that I grew up in a rush in the mornings because I apparently didn't plan properly, so I would always burn my mouth on toaster strudels because I didn't have the time to slow down and think. Same with Hot Pockets. So it was, Pop-Tarts were convenient for me because, like I said, grab and go.
Repock left, and I have all of his shulkers full of andesite.
I'm still in the VC. I've not left yet. I'm leaving
Oh.
soon.
Okay, well, I have your shulkers full that you gave me.
Cheers.
See how easy that was?
Yeah, I know. Calm down.
You got all the andesite you needed, and I've gone down like 4
Well,
layers.
no, I've still got a shulker, 2 shulkers to fill up, but yeah.
Why didn't you just tell Bleecker that?
Consider this your free trial.
There it is.
After this,
They-
you're paying.
By the way,
They were
his
nice.
going rate is 1 netherite block, so good luck with that.
What?
What?
When am I getting paid that much? Wait, I'm getting
Since when-
paid?
Since when were you getting paid?
I paid you.
Oh, that's right, you did.
I gave you a block of netherite.
You did give me a block another right. But I also cleared, like, I also put in, like,
Yeah.
how many hours? I wonder how many hours I put in on clearing your
Weeks.
land.
Weeks.
Well, it was over the course of weeks, but I'm genuinely curious, like, how many hours I put. Where did you run off to? I'm over here at Death Space.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Give me a second.
So Ricky,
I'll just.
I agree with you fully. The hot fudge sundae Pop-Tart, delicious. Question is, did you stick it in the toaster oven or did you stick it in the freezer? Because I remember they advertised it both ways. I was always a fan of the freezer version.
I don't like chocolate and fudge, so I never had those.
It was more so about
For-
the stuffing for me.
I like the wild berry Pop-Tart
Ooh, wild berry's delicious.
because it was all about the frosting for me. Although the cherry Pop-Tart in my more mature years now, like the cherry Pop-Tart as
Bro, for
like the
real.
generic cherry
Yes.
Pop-Tart.
Just a
then
wild
there's, like,
cherry.
Even like the generic store brand like Pop-Tarts slap pretty hard. Like there's their cherry ones are pretty good too.
Ricky ate him at room temperature like a human.
My
Like a primate.
aunt, when we were staying at her house as a family, she once put the Pop-Tart in the toaster, and
Mhm.
it just wasn't right.
But when you eat something one way for a long time, it becomes weird when you don't have it that way.
But the toaster strudel, you're a maniac if you just like raw dog that right out of the freezer.
That's a
You're
psychopath move right there.
You're, I'm sorry, like I'm reporting you to some authority. I don't know which one, but you need to be brought down a peg and taught a lesson.
That is worse than eating top ramen raw. And I did that a lot as a teenager.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I had in a hurry. Had to go out and ride our BMX bikes around in the woods. No time to boil some water.
What I've started doing is like, so I'm a growing boy. I'm a big boy. I'm a 2-pack of ramen.
Hmm.
You know. But like I can barely finish the 2 packs. Like
Yes.
it is a feast. But what I've done now is, so like if I'm doing so now when I cook ramen, instead of doing like 2 cups, it's like a cup and a half.
Okay.
Ooh, oh. I'm about to die.
Don't do that.
I
Don't do
can't.
that.
I couldn't get out.
Oh.
Shit.
Nice.
I died at Boss's XP farm. I accidentally fell into one of the areas and I think stuff might be gone.
Oh, you landed in the farm?
I landed in the farm. I couldn't get out.
Oh no. To
Oh,
answer your question, Havard, I am working on this is for the next video and it's being delayed unfortunately because of the sheer enormity of this project.
No, wait. The farm was off. I think my stuff might be somewhere still.
Oh, good luck. I don't know if it's just if that's something that can be turned off.
I think it is.
Is
It's so
it-
stupid
it
that
droppers it?
I couldn't fly out. I was stuck.
Yep, that's how it works.
I missed and I got stuck. And I didn't want to break the farm. I thought I
Oh.
could just fly out.
Yeah, don't break the farm.
Next time I will. Like, screw that. I'm not.
Oh, dude, that's so many mine cards. That's a mess to fix.
I don't care. Like, boss can fix
Oh,
it.
did you fall in the fucking language? Sorry.
Yeah, he fell in the entity cramming area.
Oh yeah. Ooh, fun. I'll be at his
There was
business.
nothing.
I'll be at
There was
the
nothing
thing in a
running
second.
though. I hadn't triggered any mobs. Nothing.
So
Lucky.
you're gonna need to check the droppers because it's gonna shoot them into lava. All your stuff.
That kit. If that destroys my stuff, I'm just straight up done. I'm leaving.
Oh no. I mean, it won't take me long to get you new stuff if you need it.
If it's gone, I probably will. I don't think the netherite block was in there, though. I think I have that safely tucked away in my...
Better of. I'm not replacing another block.
No. That is safety. That is safely tucked away in my...
That should be in another chest.
In my
Or an ender
yeah,
chest.
It is.
Yeah.
It is in my ender chest.
Oh, let me know. All that stuff's easy to replace. Hey, a wandering
So
trader.
devastated. I'm gonna be so devastated.
Did you have all of his shulkers of andesite on you?
No, I gave those away already. Do not flip
Right,
the
so
lever.
I can see a pair of enchanted diamond leggings. That's about it.
Those got shot out of the farm?
You have trousers. That's about it. Where would that one go down to? Yeah.
Do I feel like I've at least put a dent in this?
I think it's all gone.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This is gonna take a while.
You know, I can't see any loot from down here, so
Can't believe it all got picked up by the...
Well, think about the number of mobs that are going through that farm.
don't die again. You might lose you lose your only thing you've got left.
Like, that's all my stuff. Like, I don't have a base. That's everything I own.
Ricky, you're a psychopath not eating your strudels.
Oh, I just had a bunch of stuff get burnt.
Oh no.
That sounds about right, unfortunately.
Crap.
So, camp it.
Here, look out. Oh,
Oh no!
are you shitting?
Let the death loop commence.
Just check it.
What, the dropper?
Yes.
There's nothing in it, mate.
Well,
Oh
I quit.
no!
Oh. Oh, and he took the blooming chest with him. Now there's 2 chests missing. Oh, you. Oh, he might have straight up lost his leggings as well. The only thing that survived, he might have lost it. No, I have his leggings. All is good. Thorns free. Why would anyone put thorns on?
I used to. I am. Don't mind me. I'm just talking to the chat. I am super stoked for this time lapse and this whole project. It's gonna be so much work crammed into like a 20 or 30 minute episode, but I think it'll be worth it. I don't mind tackling the big projects as long as the viewers are patient enough to wait for me to get them done eventually. So I honestly, I almost canceled the stream tonight. I had a lot going on today. Held firm. Here I am, getting it done. For those that didn't hear the news earlier, we actually just recently got a new puppy today. And on top of, puppies being puppies, my son has been quite sick for the last 3 weeks, and it looks like his ear infection has cleared up. However, the regular flu that he still had has somehow, like, the virus moved up into his eye, so he's picked up like a version of like pink eye from that. So he's just one miserable baby. So it's been chaos at the house of the architect. Like I said, it was just a day today.
I'm gonna need some new fireworks soon. Need to.
It sounds like you need to build yourself a farm.
Yeah, I know.
As soon as I can just hunker down and get this thing dug out, I think things will start speeding up a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, I have most of this designed, and I'm pretty sure I've shown off to quite a few people little spoilers of it. Just once this is done, I think the next most difficult thing will be the trees, and then filling this thing with water. That's gonna be stupid. If Ricky's still in the chat, I'm sure he will agree when we flooded the river around Skyrim that was borderline worse than digging it out. Just trying to fill it back up. Weird random pockets of water that I still need to drain that I'm not looking forward to. I know that there is... Go back in free cam. Let's see, where's... I think it's clear up here? I think it's this section. Yeah, right here. So this is all getting dug out. The little corner section I'm doing is just the tip of the spear. All of this needs to be cut out. I showed it at the beginning of the stream, and I'll show it again near the end. But this little section is going to be a pain in the butt to do because it's a submerged underwater cave. And I basically need to drain it, I think, all the way down to about here. No, all the way down to about 10, so... Yeah, right around here. It's just going to be a bit of a process to partition off those sections of the lake to drain. I've tried doing, like, I think this ravine I didn't partition it off, and it was just a pain because obviously the water source is spread, so the sponges basically didn't do anything unless you could place them fast enough and enough of them to keep the water from being recreated. My brain just kind of farted on me there. How am I speed mining without enchanted tools? So it's actually a option in the newer versions of Minecraft where you can turn down the effect. So if I were to go into the where is it? I think it was just in the standard video settings. I have Iris, so it changed it. But somewhere in here, you can turn down the glint of your tools. And I'm not a huge fan of the color purple. So seeing all those tools constantly glinting purple irritates me. So I just have it turned down to, I think I have the saturation and the glint turned down to like 5%. If you really look at it, it'll be glinting. But that's how I did it. Yeah, they're fully enchanted, efficiency 5, the whole 9 yards. Just another thing for you to look forward to when you update to the modern times. I feel so bad. Like, I've been telling you all these things while you're streaming. But, oh yeah, do this setting, do this setting. You're like, it's not in this version yet. That's actually how I feel with the auto crafters. Like, I cannot wait for us to update the server to 1.21, and we can finally save myself all the heartache of crafting stuff by hand.
I might finally have made a proper start on my starter base by then.
Right, yeah.
But to fair, what? I'm effectively ready to start. I just need to get the majority of the resources for the actual house. I'm alright when it comes to getting the stone and the cobblestone, because obviously Boss's building is incredibly over the top.
Oh, Death Dealer?
Cobblestone farm. Yeah.
Like I said, come on out here if you want to get more andesite. I'm pretty sure I have some exposed, and yes, I will be using andesite, but I have quite the collection from the other mountain I removed from my episode 1 build.
Nah, I'm probably going to come off in like 10 minutes, because it is 4 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a little bit ahead of me.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Over there living on the other side of the world.
If it was Sunday night, so if it was technically tonight for me, but tomorrow night, yeah, there'd be no point in me going to sleep, because I'd be getting up for work in 2 hours.
So we actually had a massive heat wave in my area to where we were, I know you're using the metric system, so I cannot convert that off the top of my head, but it was about 105 degrees at its hottest point there in the middle of the week. So we actually kind of, as a shop and a shift, because we're broken up into 2 different shifts, we elected to start an hour earlier. So I was waking up at like 3:30 in the morning. I was at work clocked in by like 4:45 just to try to beat some of the heat.
Yeah. So about, what'd you say,
105 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what,
yeah,
like
so about
20...
about 40 degrees Celsius.
Oh, okay, 40 degrees.
Yeah, I was playing basketball in 45. It was a terrible idea, but I did it.
Yeah, don't do
I played
that.
basketball for 2 hours and 45 degrees. It was fun. The coach was not very happy with us, but we played it. It was quite funny.
Oh, you're eating tacos on me? You're gonna do me like that? You're gonna sit there and eat tacos, and I'm just starving to death over here, mining away. Oh, I might have to slip out of the house and go get some Taco Bell. I hope my wife's not listening.
Okay, menacingly.
She'll know. She's
She's already in the car waiting.
She's probably watching my stream. Just lurking in the background. Taco Bell sounds so good.
I actually don't think. I'm pretty sure Taco Bell is in the UK. I think I've had it once.
Oh, that's steak. You're a monster.
I don't tend to have that much fast food and shit like that. Language again. Sorry, I'm so tired. I keep forgetting.
Oh no.
Oh no, but no. Closest thing to fast food I eat on a consistent basis and it would be Greg's.
Never heard of a Greg's.
Oh my god.
Describe it to me. What kind of food is
Right.
Greg's?
So it's a lot of like your pastries and all that stuff. Still, you got your sausage rolls, your steak bakes, and oh, it is so good. The sausage rolls are still actually pretty cheap. It's like I think what would be an accurate comparison to like a sausage roll? I'm sure you must have sausage rolls in the US, surely.
Yes, but I can't think of the name off the top of my head. I know they sell
Yeah,
them a
it's
lot at
like-
like 7-Elevens and gas stations. Them on the hot rollers. They have a technical
like-
name.
Yes, it's literally £1.20 for one. Greg's has still remained so incredibly cheap, despite everything else going up.
That's
And
good.
you'd think they'd be somehow losing now. They're still opening new branches nearly every week. They're upgrading all the old ones, which is annoying because it means I can't get Greg's at the moment because there's only one in the village I live in, and I'm not getting the bus into town to go get Greg's. There's
Understandable.
no point.
Yep.
But no, it's banging. They also do like pizza and stuff, but it's just like an individual slice because it is a kind of it's essentially is a takeaway type place, but it's like
Yeah.
but it's not like it's just snack type foods basically. But it's so good. That's pretty much the majority.
I'm
Or
definitely a foodie. I love food.
I probably should eat more food. It would probably help.
I need to eat less of it. I got fat.
I think I'm borderline anorexic.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say eat some food.
Yeah, it's not good. But,
Where we
yeah.
at?
It doesn't help that I have an incredibly fast metabolism.
That was preaching the choir. That was me 10 years ago.
I know. That's it. Hopefully, you can give it like 2. It'll slow down a bit.
Just wait till you hit your 30s. Just everything stops. So I know
Because never mind.
I know I've had this discussion with Boss and stuff, but I'm curious to know what the chat thinks as well as you. I think that they should make some sort of tool where you can use like a sponge on lava. I would borderline be willing to use like a netherite ingot to craft that with a sponge or something to make it to where it can absorb lava. Because trying to drain out like huge lava pockets can be so frustratingly like painful. That'd be cool if they made like a tool that could do that. As well as a boat that can go in the lava. Once again, just take another ingot and add it to like some sort of nether bricks or something. Make a nether brick boat. If they can make giant steel battleships floats, I'm sure we can find a justifiable way to make a boat float in lava. There's a lot of things that I would argue that they should add into the game, but I've covered those before and I'll touch into them again. And I think the biggest one for me has always been more colored leaves.
On the topic of boats that be able to float in lava, well, technically we have the Strider, but we'll ignore that.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they make the Netherwoods be unburnable? Like they're in the Nether.
True. You bring up a valid point there.
Like, it's literally hell. I'm pretty sure the wood there would have to be quite fire resistant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do they use to grow? They're classified as a fungus, and correct me if I'm wrong if there's any scientists out there in the chat, but most fungus require like a damp, warm environment to thrive. And I feel like the Nether is quite the opposite. It's a hot and dry climate.
I
Well,
would say so.
I suppose, you know, you could argue that, well, there's sub-biomes. You have a warped forest and a crimson forest. That could be a more humid environment. But a water bucket instantly evaporates, so that would imply that there's no humidity or any sort of moisture in that area. That and more controversial stuff coming soon.
Alright.
You off for the night?
Should be, yes. That'll be a logical decision.
Alright, well, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, no, it's alright. Gave me actual reason. I probably would not have minded all the andesite. That's the problem.
Progress forward.
So,
Glad I could be your conversation and motivation to get some work done.
What am I doing tomorrow? Designing another house.
For your challenge.
Yeah. I've got one scheduled for tomorrow. Well, today in my time zone, but I've got to get one ready for tomorrow, obviously.
Okay.
And then someone's also asking me to make tutorials of them.
Of course. And then they'll be asking for schematics. How the internet works.
I know. So if I've slightly altered one of them, so it's a bit different to the one that's in the original video, but yeah. Mainly because I've done like, it's got interior walls and the windows are not like trim lights and black concrete, and also I removed a window because it didn't make any logical sense because the chimney was right behind it.
Yep.
So you wouldn't be able to use the window. But yeah, I've updated that. I've made that. I'm gonna make a tutorial on that, and then if they do well, I'll do more of them. If they don't do well, I'll probably only do like one a month, and then eventually try, or maybe not even do any, just do that one, and if it does all right, do a couple more, see how they do.
Cool.
But
sounds like a plan.
yeah, and then obviously I'm getting a video out of every 10 of them, so it's not bad. It means I'm uploading every 10 days now, effectively, like about a 10-minute video every 10 days, which is all right.
It's good.
It's gonna means a lot of my like my normal time lapses now, because I'm doing that. I'll be able to spend a bit longer on them. I mean, bigger builds for them and so on.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to worry about not uploading, because I'll be uploading about 3 to 4 times a month of just reused footage. But yeah.
All right, man. Well, you have yourself a wonderful evening. Or morning.
Morning, I can see the sunrise soon. If I move my curtains, I can probably see the sun. Right. Anyway, yep. I'll see you at some point.
Alrighty.
Au revoir.
Yep. So, I didn't want to bring this up earlier. Do you want me to call you Mystery, Cooling Mystery? I feel awkward that I've been having a conversation with you, and I've just been beating around the bush of what I should refer to you as. So I'm going to try to clarify that now, and then we can talk about how awesome your idea is to have the Strider drop them. While I clean out my inventory here. Starting to stack up the stone for sure. Well, that's when we have to make a little pit stop and mend up some tools. Let's see, we've been streaming for... Where's my little clock thingy? Where's my timer? Oh, wow, almost 2.5 hours. Nice. Oh, you mystery. Okay. Just don't call you late for dinner. Love it. Mystery. Alright. Put that one in the backlog and try not to have the streamer brain and just forget everything. I'd hate to admit it, but I'm actually pretty gullible guy, so. And then streaming is a whole different level of stress and anxiety for me, so. I'm just start blabbering on like I tend to. But yeah, getting back to what I had said, that your idea of Strider dropping some sort of something that you can add to a sponge or a way that you can craft a sponge is a fantastic idea. I don't even know what it could be. It could be some sort of like hardened like scanner. Oh, that sounds way too gruesome. That's morbid. I'm sure they could drop something like their feet, some sort of like hoof. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. That is an excellent idea. Because striders are just horrible for the nether. Like they put them in there hoping that we'd use them, and people are just, I don't think anybody was like, yeah, this is an efficient way. Pretty sure I could like pillar faster over lava than to use the strider. Weird, my game like glitched. I was eating while I was in my inventory. It's cursed. Minecraft's cursed. I'll tell you what, hold me to this, chat, but I'm going to stream for, see, what time are we at? We're at 2:25. When I am approaching the 3-hour mark, I want you all to just jump in to the chat, and I want you to tell me to stop grinding this out and to jump into the creative world, because I kind of want to go in there and do a little bit of tour of what I've done and kind of talk more about my plans for this next episode. I think that at the 3-hour mark will be sufficient enough progress for me today, and I think I'll be pretty close to using up the durability of all my tools by then, so hold me to it, chat. In the meantime, I'll just keep moving dirt, all that fun stuff. Maybe we might even have enough time to check for the mini blocks from that wandering trader. Oh, you know what? That's another very good point, mystery, that you can make it a more complicated recipe. So I'm sure people would find a way to farm. I mean, I guess anything's farmable in Minecraft. Just give the technical community long enough and they'll find a way to exploit it and break it. Yeah, like gas tier mixed with strider drop and a block of netherite or something like that, or wither skeleton skull. I'm sure there's a way that they can integrate it in a way. A way to a way. I am blabbering on. So, I mean, how else would you... Yeah, this one might be a little bit too far into the fantasy element, but, you know, we have leather shoes that make it so you can walk on powdered snow without falling through. You get the light as a rabbit achievement. Is it too far out there to ask for something that made it to where you can walk on lava? I mean, is that a justifiable thing for netherite? Pretty OP that it doesn't burn, but should we add an extra perk that if you craft it mixed with... It could be something that you find inside of a new trial chamber. Like it could be a loot that you dropped, or with like a certain beacon effect. Yeah, there we go. You can add like a beacon effect. Like there's got to be some sort of way to make lava travel more efficient. The nether star required. That's another great idea. Yeah. Use some game mechanics and items that are already in the game. Great ideas. Watch, we're gonna get a call from like Mojang or something. They're like, hey, we're gonna need you to cease and desist. Nah, we're not modders. Can have a frostwalker as thing that turns the blocks below into temporary basalt. Oh, where you have to use like a blue ice or something, or an enchantment. You can make it a book. get like the achievement cold as ice, and that would be like your sign that you can now walk on lava. And yeah, I love the idea of it being temporary, as well as that would be another way, a different method for farming basalt, kind of like how most people design ice farms to have some sort of frost walking enchanted mob walk across the water sources. You could integrate it that way. Granted, I don't think it'll be nearly as efficient and refined as the current basalt farms, because those are pretty OP. Not to mention that you get basalt from piglin bartering. I guess you don't really need that many methods to get basalt. All great ideas, though. Love the thought process. Little ways to improve the game. But here I am going to play the devil's advocate in my own discussion here. I've had this discussion with Boss several times, and you know, when I file my grievances per se of things that I want integrated in the game, he goes, well, why don't you just start playing modded? You know, Vault Hunters has a lot of the things that you've been asking for. Or I believe it's the Terralith mod, where it completely changes the game. Wow, can't think of the right word, but the biomes and all that. These are all things that I could do if I just played modded. So why would I want to change the regular version of Minecraft that has that eclectic feel to it when I could just play a modded version of it? So it's one of those, like, yes, they argue either way. Like, I know there's mods out there that'll change the color of leaves and they can give me more colored leaves, but it'd be nice to have that in vanilla, all the other things. And I'm gonna quote Boss now on the same discussion that we had. I'm pretty sure it was like last night or the night before. We talk a lot. Anyways, his idea for the whole colored leaves things is like the Terralith mod, that it's biome based, so you can have a tree that's growing in X biome and the leaves will be red. But then if you were to harvest those leaves and place them in a different biome, they'll be green again. And it's really obvious when you get on the border of a biome where you have half a tree that's red and half a tree that's green. It just looks weird. And a workaround that he suggested was to add some sort of code in there to where the block state will be preserved upon it being gathered. So you could go to those biomes and harvest those leaves, their block state will be retained, and then when you place them in a different biome, you'll still have those different colored leaves. And that'll be, because that's one of the issues that Mojang has, is that they're trying to encourage players to go out and explore all of this world that they've created. So that's why they're doing the whole villager nerf things and all that, was to try to get players to get out and explore. And so that would be a great selling feature to the block state leaves. I know I would 100% build, you know, 3 different birch farms in different biomes if it means I got, you know, yellow, orange, and red leaves. Like 100%. That's an easy sacrifice. Especially since it would all just be a light matic and really easy for me to just build it right quick. How are we doing on time? 2 hours and 33 minutes. Okay. So plenty of time over here. Just wish it'd stop raining. That was my favorite thing about building in the savanna biome. As much grief as I like to give the savanna biome for being ugly, the fact that it never actually rained there was perfect for a content creator. All these huge time lapses that are gonna have rain in here. Yeah, that's actually a great point, Mystery. They have all these different flower farms, and unless you're building in a flower forest, you have to go out and explore. Gather up the stone. I'm a hoarder. Where are we at on? stone mined. All right. I'm forecasting that we're going to be probably at least another 100,000 before this project is finished. I'm going to put it now in stream so I can find it later that my forecast for stone mine will probably be 450,000 when we finish this. Which, where were you at on your stone mine? I know you have those huge beacon mines down below your area mystery and your double chest of stone that you're still trying to find a home for. Where are you at on your stone mine? You've been playing in that world for a few years now. I can only imagine how much stone you've mined. Especially if you're like me and you prefer to do it manually over having a cobblestone farm and super smelters. Oh, you had a lot of rain during your 100. Oh, and you were kind of in that mountainy biome, so I'm sure there was points where you almost had snow falling on it. Yeah, super annoying. That's where you regret your choices to build in the biome that you did, which I think you just said that either in yesterday's stream or today's stream. Yeah, agreed. Savannah biome would have been perfect. And nowadays, like the post 1.18, the biomes are so much bigger, and they've done a better job of blending them. I think that was the 1.18 when they kind of changed the distribution to where you're not going to have a cold biome right next to a warm one. They'll at least give you a temperate one to divide them. So you're not going to have a snow-capped mountains right next to a desert. Which I give them mad respect for changing that. And they had the wind-swept hills and all that. Area below your base is all mined out. Just got to put the black glass in. Oh, nice! It's always... Once again, I'm going to bring up conversations that I've had with Boss. But there was a while there to where I seriously considered being a creative-only builder. Strictly because of how much time that I like to spend in my builds versus the time that I have available to then recreate the builds in survival. And so I had this discussion with Boss, and I was like, you know, I'm really thinking about just changing my channel up to be another one of those creative builders. And he kind of won me back over to the survival things by saying that, you know, you build something in creative, you're like, yeah, that's cool, but now I'm ready for the next thing. Survival, when you build it, there's just a whole nother level of like accomplishment that you feel. It's just more blood, sweat, and tears that go into it. You're so much more pride in your work when you've taken the time and all of that energy to gather the resources and to actually build it in first person in your world. I was like, yeah, I get that. So hence why I'm still playing on an SMP, not trying to jump into the bakery server or something, if that's even survival. Oh boy, look at that puddle we got here. What we'll do is just as we move downwards, I'm gonna fill up that layer with stone. And I don't even have to use a sponge. Then I gotta go into the nether and I gotta dry the sponges, and it's a whole thing. Sleep, empty our inventory. Yeah, I agree with you, Mystery. Survival, just at the end of the day, it's a certain level of fun that you just get out of the grind. Even though we all complain about it during the process, you finish it up and you step back and you look at it like, yeah, I'm so proud of that. Those things. Let's take a quick check here to see. I'm gonna crash my computer loading up this whole schematic. Oh man, I barely put a dent in that. Yeah, you can't even see the bottom of the lake. All of this is going away. anywhere that I can see the bottom of the lake. That helps if I go down here. Alright, so right here. There's the bottom of the river that's feeding it. After that, it drops down. Anywhere else? Like we round this area out. Over here's not too bad. I remember I built like a little shelf. Oh boy. Let's not do that. And all of that will need to get torn out. That is the biggest downfall to using mods like Axiom and World Edit, is you don't take into consideration just how much you've altered that world. Yeah, that's another really good point, Mystery. When you build it and you use it, like I know you're doing an excellent job about integrating your farms into your builds, to where you've really taken the time and attention to detail to get that farm to fit perfectly in there. And that's one of the things I really respect about you and your build style, is you really add that functionality to your builds. I typically just build a lot because it looks cool. Like, oh yeah, I'll just stuff the farm underground somewhere, which I'm going to be doing for a lot of them around here. That's just kind of always been the builder I am, is just big ugly redstone farms, hide them underground, cover up in nice beautiful scenery. But going back over to the world edit and the brushes subject, it's like I'm obviously right clicking and removing the material, and I'm like, oh wow, this is big hunks of material that I'm removing. And in the back of my head, there's like that little guy going saying, you know, you're still got to do this in survival, right? And I can't get past what looks cool. And like we were just saying, is that at the end of the day, it'll be worth it. Yes, that's gonna take me another probably month or two to finish up this project, but I think this is gonna be another one of those ones where I look back at it and I won't have any regrets about building it. Not probably try to avoid a few mistakes that I made along the way with this one, as far as biome selection and maybe tree designs. I don't know, it's not really too much that I regret in this project so far, besides the sheer number of trees that I'm gonna have to build by hand. Obviously the lake will be another one. Oh yeah, I've already decided that I'm not gonna do another lake this big. I will either cover it up with a mountain, or I will make them little rivers. No more big lakes. And if I do the rivers and stuff, there's a higher possibility that I'm just going to set up a conduit and just kind of retexture the bottom of an existing one. I won't do a full drain and revamp like I am on this one. Two hours and 43 minutes. That should be enough time to finish this layer. I think I only have a shovel or two left, so yeah, I think we're going to work out just fine on our timeline. Of course, me being me, I feel obligated to go back and pick up every single one of my blocks. I could probably do these projects in half the time if I just let them despawn, but it just always irks me. I don't know if Ricky's still in the chat there, but when we were working on Skyrim, it would always start off with, all right, let's start digging out this area, or let's start doing this and we'll collect this. And it always, without a doubt, turned into him mining and me just running behind him picking up blocks. Because that's just how we played, and it actually was a really great dynamic. the glory of playing on the Zeta Craft with Ricky. That guy could grind. Well, I will be plenty good on sand, grass, and dirt. I wasn't already after this project. That's always another good thing about doing these massive dig outs like this, is that you end up with so many resources. Oh my goodness, it's Jewel. Hello, Jewel, and welcome to the stream. I've heard you've been quite busy with all your art commissions lately, Jewel. I feel honored that you've taken your time out of that to join into my stream tonight. Honestly, I just feel honored for anybody to join me during my streams. It's not one of those things, like, I'm not typically the type of person that will love to just sit down and hang out during a stream. There's a very few select people that I will make it a point to try to hang out with. Typically, it's just not the time that I want to dedicate to, especially since I'm a really slow typer, so it's hard for me to have a conversation with somebody when there's always that little bit of a lag between when I can type up a response. I want to tell stories, you know, I want to have an actual conversation, not just like, yeah, cool, you know, F in the chat, like stuff like that. And my story's full again. A lot of work is going on, Jewel. We're digging out a lake. So much digging. Oh, you're working full-time and working out too? Ooh! Get your hands full. I need to think of a good use for the clay blocks. I think they're a really nice looking block, but unfortunately they don't blend into the grayscale palettes very well. There's not a very good transition into clay, which kind of sucks because really nice looking block. I think the closest you get is light gray concrete powder, and it's still a pretty extreme transition from that gray to that more dirty white look. I'd have to pull up the Q blocks, or I guess when we're in creative I can show you in Axiom how you can create a color gradient pattern. We can see what's near clay. It's getting better. That's good. You kind of got to find a way to manage all of that busyness. That way, it's the only way you'll keep your sanity. Like we were just discussing earlier, like we just added a new little member to our family, a purebred brown lab with this chaos at my house. I don't know about you guys, but for me, whenever I start to get in a really stressful situation, I try to take a step back and just remind myself that, you know, I was in the military, I was deployed to a war zone, I've been through all of this rigorous and highly stressful training, and I just need to tell myself, like, you've been through worse. Like, this little bit of day-to-day stress, that's nothing compared to what you've been through. Being deployed to a war zone, away from friends and family, and seeing all the stuff that I have seen, like, that's nothing compared to, oh man, I might be a little late to work or something. Oh, well, thanks for hanging out, Jewel. I appreciate you swinging by for the time that you did. So I'm curious what's others people's ideas, suggestions, or like your experiences are with dealing with stress. If you're kind of like how I approach it, or if you found your own little method. I don't want to hear people saying, oh yeah, I just drink. Like, no, don't just drink. Ranking's not the option. I've tried it before. Not the way to manage stress, I can assure you. It's not the fix you're looking to have. Looks like I actually forgot this little section over here, so we'll do 2 at the same time. We're about 10 more minutes. So yeah, I think it'll be just enough time to finish this layer. If not, I will go ahead and finish this layer. And while people are typing up their responses to my earlier requests for stress management, I'm just gonna follow that up with a whole nother completely random and different question of like, what is your procedure, I guess would be the right word, for when you're about to log off Minecraft. So for me personally, I kind of have this mindset to where I always need to go back through and repair my tools. It's nothing more frustrating to me that when I get super inspired and motivated to start a project and I jump in a world and I'm like, oh man, that's right, I gotta go mend up all my tools and stuff, and I gotta waste all this time, and it just kills the vibe. So I've just made it a habit that before I log off for the nights that I will always at least try to mend my hotbar tools. I may not have the time to go through all my spare tools in my workbox, but I will at least try to do the basic ones so I could jump in and start working. Oh, welcome back, Mystery. Well, I did make a request to see what others' go-to method for stress management was, but I think since then I've kind of moved on to the subject of what's your habit that you do before you log off your world. And I used the example of always wanting to mend up my tools before I log off. I'm just curious to see what other people's like SOP is before they jump off for the night. And I did come to the decision that I'm going to at least finish up this layer before I jump over into the creative world. And I'll be mostly talking. I doubt I'll do any actual creative design work tonight. Mostly just want to show off and talk. As if I haven't been doing enough of that tonight. Missed the spot. There we go. I guess I will follow up that question with another question, because apparently this is turning into me just quizzing my chat and getting their opinions. But for those that are still here, do you prefer to use excuse me, Fortune or Silk Touch as your work pick of choice? I'm a Silk Touch man. I 100% prefer Silk Touch. You're much more rigid with your playthroughs these days. I usually hop on, do my time lapse or whatever it is, and hop off. I repair my tools when I need to. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I don't do as much organic building as I once did because I discovered how to use all these building mods and stuff like that that expedite the process. So I guess that the need for having tools ready to go consistently isn't nearly as important as it used to be for me. I really need to work on my self-discipline and keeping myself focused on projects, because I've oh, excuse me, I sneezed. I'm the type of person that has no problem procrastinating. I'm horrible about that. So another reason why I've always liked playing on SMPs is there's a little bit more people here to hold me accountable for my projects, and the current crew that we have on here is really good about holding me to my word. Hey, welcome in, Zugwit. Good to see you. We got about where's our time at? 6 more minutes of survival grinding here at this, and then we're going to jump over into the creative world. So if you just wanted to see the creative stuff, you've joined in at just the right time. Oh, Silk Touch the bus. Ah, my man. My man. For me, it's just the preservation of the block state. Because as we will see when I jump into the creative world, I'm actually using a lot of copper ore as well as iron ore in my shoreline. I'll kind of explain my train of thought with that once we get over to the creative world. I just need to remove this little section here of stone, and then we're gonna call the lake removal project good for the day. Yeah, I agree. Fortune is annoying just because it breaks down ores. But the flip side of that coin is that if you have a crafting table, that most of the ores, I have to say most because I know quartz and stuff like that, you can't convert it back. But coal, iron, copper, gold, you can actually consolidate it down into block form and then break it back down later. So it actually is more compact in the end state, because you can fit 9 to 1 as opposed to 1 for 1 with the ore variant. Yes, as well as the whole ender chest predicament. There's been a few times in the past where I've gotten my picks mixed up because I typically roll as sword, silk touch, fortune pick, silk touch shovel, silk touch axe, bow. So every once in a while, I won't be paying attention when I'm reassigning my hotbar, and I'll put that fortune one in my second spot, and of course go to pick up my ender chest, and I'm holding obsidian and completely face palming. Must be a baseball game or something going on in my area. I hear fireworks going off. Guess it's about that time for the post-game fireworks. If I were to actually stand up and look out my curtain, I could probably see them. It'd been nice to see that. Although I'm actually quite surprised that they're still firing off fireworks at this time of the year. I'm pretty sure they've actually started a burn ban in our area. I know when we were out camping, that we couldn't have any campfires or even like coals in a barbecue because the fire hazard has gone up so much this last month. I've got a lot of smooth stone, so I've done a lot. Yeah, very, very true. Yeah, I probably should have just guessed that you're a silk touch man. Not that I would accuse you of making a cobblestone generator and using a super smelter. That seems like a lot more work to fortune something up and then bring it back down to your mining area. Yeah, I guess I probably could have made that assumption. Here's another little talking points thing. We're gonna get back into the subject of things that I wish that they would improve with in Minecraft. Is I personally find it to be a waste of time and resources, maybe not time, but at least of resources to justify using netherite on my tools, because the only really advantage that I get from that is that it mines teeny tiny bit faster and you get more durability and it doesn't burn in lava, which is probably for most people enough of a selling feature. But I think that if I'm going to justify taking the time to completely demolish biomes and stuff like that in the nether, I want a little bit more bang for my buck. So I've always suggested that if I've taken the time to add netherite to my pick, that I should be able to insta-mine deep slate and ores and glass. I think that that's something that they really need to add into the game, because mining glass is absolutely absurd. I can instantly break stone, but glass still takes a few seconds. Like, at best, give me a tool that can insta-mine glass. So annoying when I mess up, you know, a huge section of glass. Oh, was I paused the whole time? Anyways, and I have to manually break that by hand. No, thank you. I'd rather blow it up with TNT. I think the tools should last for the rest of this. Yeah, it's a little bit more. Let's see, where are we at? We're at 3 hours now. So yeah, probably what, 10 more minutes or something to mine this out. And we'll jump into creative. I might swap up the playlist here. Pretty sure it's at least the 10th time I've heard this. So I use Upbeats for my music, and they have this cool fun little function in there to where they have an AI playlist generator, so you can kind of give it a few prompts for what you're looking for, and this is one of the ones that spit out, and I've been very, very happy with it so far. But after listening to it on repeat for 3 hours straight, get a little over it. Yeah, that's a really another good point, Mystery, is that I like the look of diamond armor. Like I mentioned earlier, that I don't personally care for the purple glint. So unless they can make a way for me to change the color glint of enchanted tools, I just prefer the black netherite. Like, that would be cool if I could just have black armor without the glow, which is another reason why I turned it down. And most of the time on my armor, I will 9 times out of 10 be wearing fire protection armor, which I'm going to prove myself wrong right now. Nope, wearing my fireproof protection. Because there's a more likely than not chance that I will die in lava than almost any other time. Not to mention that if I get blown up by a creeper or shot by a skeleton, then my armor will just drop onto the ground, and at most a mob might pick it up. Lava's kind of permanent. You fall in lava and die, your stuff's going to get burnt unless you're wearing netherite. So that's why I personally have always leaned towards fire protection for that sole reason. Give me just a little bit more time to pop a potion or to get out and get myself in water or somewhere safe, at least to where if I die, my stuff doesn't despawn in lava. That's another thing that I'm excited about for 1.21 will be the addition of new armor trims. I do hope that, unfortunately, this might be a bit of a weird opinion here, but like I really love the skeleton armor trim. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. It's not the Warden one, it's something else. But I like the look of it, but it kind of lost its touch because, you know, everybody was like, oh yeah, it's the rarest armor, so everyone's gonna want to use it because they like to collect the rare things, as they should. I'm like, oh, now I kind of feel like you've ruined the cool thing. Like, I feel like if I don't have that one, then I'm not a true collector, if that makes sense. And if I remember correctly, I try not to run fully of one type of templates. I I want to at least get a little bit of mix up in it. Try to find the patterns that blend well together and kind of set my armor up that way. Which I don't even think, yeah, I don't have any of those templates on my armor at the time. I have every single template in my storage room. And I have the upgrade gear template. It's just one of those things I'm not in a rush to do. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm in first person mode, so I personally don't get to see it. And I don't do much of the stereotypical talking to the camera like this to my viewers to justify it. I try to be a logical thinker in that sense. I prefer my bad choices to be, you know, draining an entire river biome and digging a custom lake. Yeah, just, I guess I must have subconsciously read your comment there about talking in F5. And I guess at the end of the day, it boils down to personal opinion. And the beauty of Minecraft, like I tell so many people, is that it, you know, it's a sandbox game. You play it exactly how you want to play it. And I respect that they've always stayed true to that. Outside of the villager nerfing that they're going to be adding. But once again, I get it. I just prefer to be spoiled. I do hope I have enough durability left on this pick to finish it. On the home stretch. Almost there. I love bad choices. They lead to content. 100%. You are absolutely correct. Either they lead to content or they lead to good memories. I remember on Zetacraft, there's quite a few things to where I would jump onto the server and have this goal for what I wanted to get done. And then somebody will just jump into the chat or something like, oh, hey, can you come help me with this right quick? Oh, yeah, sure. And then next thing I know, it's been like 4 hours or something, and we've just been playing around with this joke, and it becomes this inside story that is near and dear to my heart. And that's another reason why I enjoy playing on SMP so much, is because of those just oddball interactions like that sometimes make the best memories. I am full on stone. I have to remember to move those. So here's a question from a chat. Do you think, yeah, I'm done recording. Do you think that I should go ahead and start moving all of these materials that I mine out and just put them straight in my storage room? Or would you guys rather me see me set up quite a few double chests, and at the very end of it show the total number of blocks removed to really put into scale the magnitude of this project? I'm all for either option. Either at the end of the day, it's going to go in the storage room, which is way over there. But it's just that extra little step that I don't mind doing. Right. Go ahead and... oh, that's a random tool that I think Bleaker threw at me. Get these in place, and then we are going to creative. Anything else I'm forgetting? I'll mend my tools later. Alright, let's go meet up in the creative. Swap my game capture over. There to this one. I just picked it up. I picked the right one. Looks like we're there. Fantastic. Alright, double chests. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I do believe you guys have already seen my creative world. I believe I've shared all the spoilers of it. There's the lake we're working on. Kind of a whole different perspective here than in survival. Just get my... there we go. Okay. So a lot of this is just going to be black... excuse me. Black concrete. And the reason why I chose to do that is because I wanted to make it here even deeper than it actually is. So if you think about, once you get the water on top of that, I could do the black stained glass trick, but I think the black concrete will also help push this down and make it look like it's an actual lake that was formed by the continental drifts and the plates that have like collided and pushed under and created that super deep ravine, in conjunction with all of the glacier activity that we have going on way over here, which I think I'm still gonna tweak this glacier a little bit. I don't know if I'm quite happy with how we have this nice beautiful sloping snow, and then it kind of has this weird flat spot and then it goes back up. I think I can rework this to be a smoother transition. I really like the idea of this really jagged ice pack here, and all of the research that I did on a lot of glaciers when they're blending into rivers or oceans, they tend to be more jagged. It's not a very smooth transition. On the contrary, we have these ice caves up here, which are a direct, not recreation, but direct inspiration from a place that I used to hike at a lot growing up where I used to live. And it would be a snowpack. However, during the summer times, and spring mostly, is that the upper mountains would be melting, so the water would run down in these really narrow waterfalls, and they land right at the base of the mountain here, and they actually carve in a little hole, because they're obviously melting in like 34 degrees, will eventually melt a little tunnel through the ice pack and make these really cool looking ice caves. So that was the inspiration that I had for the ice caves, as well as the whole premise of how I wanted to go about designing this area. Because we obviously have a mountain here and we have snowpack. Well, snowpacks are going to melt, so I need to find a justifiable reason to be filling this lake, and I need starting points for these rivers. So I justify that the ice caves, well, I can't do them the true justice for how the snowpack would melt and create these tunnels, because I think there's a little bit of artistic freedom that I need to use in order to kind of scale up the rivers over the distance, because these should be starting as just trickling little half block wide waterfalls or trickling brooks, and then they'll slowly start merging into there, building up momentum into proper rivers. I kind of had to expedite that process a little bit here and just turn them into little streams and then one big river. And it's not to say that, you know, down the road when I do this whole area that I won't try to refine that in, but honestly most of this area is going to be snow mountains, so a lot of it will still be completely frozen over rivers. Which, another thing reminds me that I wanted to change my playlist here. Let's go to this one. Going from the Epic Fantasy Adventure playlist to the Epic Fantasy Soundscapes. I do believe most of this should be instrumental and there shouldn't be any lyrics. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. Oh yeah, I wanted to kind of show off and honestly look to see if there was a block that transitioned from clay. What's close to it? Ooh, the lodestone. So there's clay. Yeah, see, the closest thing is either light gray, glazed terracotta, which to me is not even close, to smooth stone. And then after that you have the light gray. And the problem that I've always had with using smooth stone in a general gradient on like a build is that dark gray border on there. I kind of wish that either this would be all the same texture, or when you did the double slab technique that it would blend into a different version. Now I respect that they kept the slab look, because there is a time and a place for it that I'm sure I will use at one point. But it would be cool to use a smoother transition. Oh, which, by the way, for those that want to know how I made this, I learned this from Calvin's tutorial on Axiom. So if you just open up your little mini menu here, I'm gonna be stretching my memory, but I do believe you make a box selection in an area. So if I were to say go from here to here, move that up, I'm not going to actually paste it in here. I'm just, for all intents and purposes, you make your box selection, you enter it, and then you go into operations, generate color field, and then it'll generate a color field with all the blocks in that region. There's your fun little tip there, how you do that. I want to clear selection, enter. Oh, great. Well, luckily it's Axiom. I can just go like that. Yeah, that's your fun little random tip of the day for that. So where my two big roadblocks are as far as progressing this project forward is A, I don't want to do any color assignment on this fortified cathedral until I get the 1.21 blocks. I really want to incorporate those tough variants into this build. I think it'll be a great build to feature those. So I'm kind of on the halt there, and granted it's single player and I could update my world there, but I'm just gonna wait. I have enough other stuff to keep me occupied as far as the trees. Because the general idea for how this area is going to flow is I'm going to have this mountain range pick back up, probably somewhere here in the savanna biome, and that'll be part of the southern border. I do have plans for this pillager outpost out here that I need to figure out in the future, unless there's another one around here. I guess there's another one right there I can use. So I will probably end up making these mountains here the southern border of my world building project. So you'll have this entrance right here of, oh gosh, pushing all of the wrong buttons. I apologize. You'll have the main road. And I've been very inspired by the Game of Thrones, like, continent and world building. So that's kind of been a lot of the driving factors. Like, you have your main King's Road going through here. And you'll notice that I have Podzol on this side, but not this side. Something I'll explain later. Essentially, this will be a lot less trees, so there's not the justified reason for all this Podzol. Anyways, yeah, you'll be entering what I will call like the Great Forest, and I'll probably think of a better name for it later. But this area will kind of be an open meadow, is what I'm thinking. And then as we start to work our way up into this rocky area, it'll be a really thick and overgrown ancient dark oak forest. I figured that since this whole biome area, pretty sure from here to here, you can see this was all dark oak forest that needed to be removed. So I think that's kind of using that vision and just reworking this into a proper custom dark oak forest would be the move. As well as I did have the goal that I either wanted to do a castle in every biome, or I wanted to try to rework every single major biome. So this would just be another step in doing that on this server. But continuing on, this will be the dark oak forest, but then once we get to getting close to these streams, I'm going to start transitioning it into more of an evergreen or conifer style forest, and you'll get more of that high altitude look. And so you get those thinner, taller trees, your Onerosa pines, your firs, maybe a few cedars I'll toss in there. And then I have to start scaling them down, so I don't have a 30 block tall tree like right here. It's going to completely throw off the sight lines at the mountain. So it's got to be that balancing act of trying to find the scale to make the actual immersion feel right for this ancient forest that's been here forever, but also think this spot right over here is a little hook in the trail before we go back towards the glacier plains. This area I've already decided that I want to leave as a really thin section because I think it's a great view of the mountain as well as the ice cave that'll have an entrance into a snow farm. I'm going to tuck that back into there. I do have a few POIs that I want to make sure that I include in here. So those need to be kind of laid out in the back of my mind because I do plan on using the clipboard tool. I need to rewatch the tutorial to refresh my memory on how I can go through and just paste all the trees around in that pattern. Yeah, then we'll have the fortified cathedral, which I'm thinking it's mostly on a pre-existing plateau, which is actually part of an open lush cave, which was beautiful in the world, but I had to plug it. So a lot of this will be pre-existing caves, but I do want to dig out some sort of custom tunnel, whether it be below this throne room, like cathedral area, or somewhere inside the main keep that'll lead to where my wool farm, which is somewhere, I think it ended up right about here, as well as I want to have all of the tree farms in this area. They'll all be tucked underground, so I can figure if I'm having a forest, I might as well have all the tree farms. I'll try to include those in there. That's kind of the general gist of this particular project. This is mostly just what's supposed to be the filler between my first starter base and then 1.21. I was like, oh yeah, I can knock it out before that gets released, no problem. And then, you know, me procrastinating and having 3 other projects going at the same time distracted me. So here's the project that I was going to get started on, but ultimately decided that I want to A, rework it a bit more, and B, wait till I had all those tough block variants. So I ended up being in the same position, but this was going to be the area where I was going to showcase all of the mini blocks because we have that data pack on the server, as well as all of the mob heads because we also have that data pack. So this was going to be an area solely dedicated to that, as well as my storage room. I built this forever and a day ago on my Discord one night. So this is actually in the world right now, and I finally took the time to dedicate organizing it and laying it out. So at this point, it's ready to just start moving in. So this was a project that I spent about a month and a half on before I was like, oh crap, I need to put something out. And if I'm spending all the time on this and decided to wait, that's not doing me any good. So kind of panic and shifted gears. But this will be another part of the world building project. This will be the capital area. You can see the main palace that I've been slowly working on. I just love all of the super Nordic touches as far as the wood furnishings and trim bits that I've tried to put in. I've been leaning a lot towards just the general color gradients in my builds. So this was me trying to push myself to use more shapes and different blocks to create depth. Like there's so much going on in here, so many different layers. It's a really difficult build to do. I kind of got a little steamed out on it. As you can see, I just started doing shapes. I definitely want to re-energize myself and kind of finish this thing through because it'll be a really cool project and cool place to display all those blocks. And then I think this was the point where I discovered Axiom, so I was really just messing around with general landscaping. I decided that I wanted to do the fjords style look, which pushed the whole world building project. This is supposed to be a, Norway kind of inspired not Ireland, well, maybe a little bit of Ireland, but Iceland, Greenland, Sweden, that whole Finland area where you have a lot of that volcanic mountain continental shifting in that area. I really love that style with landscapes. And then in here was going to be a massive dock, which is going to be kind of difficult to see. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some night vision. Oh, actually, spend all that time doing that when I could just do ocean. Do a real quick 3-minute one. Oh. We can kind of see what I was going for here. It's this massive internal, like, royal docks. I'm gonna have a crane here, and then all the different ships, like the Jarl's longboat would be going right here on this long section. And most of this you actually won't be able to see without night vision, so I was going to do just generic deep slate, which was then an opportunity for me with these docks to open up the other side of my storage room, as you can see, and make it super accessible, because that's something that's very important to me, is accessibility. I want to be able to fly in from either end, so these will have doors that are open probably enough that I can easily fly in. I'm relatively skilled with an elytra, so I could probably get through a 2-block gap, but might as well make it 5 or something like that. That's, oh yeah, let me explain furthermore the process, the whole reason behind building a custom mountain. So I found this T-Rex skull as a 3D model, and I wanted to incorporate it in there. And I know I've talked in the past on other streams about the different lore of this area, but the general gist of it is that you'll have a path that leads up into the T-Rex skull, which will be some sort of, god or something in my lore stories. Then you'll actually have an opening here with a secret door that you need a certain item to open, and there it will open up into a really long winding path inside the mountain with all sorts of puzzle locks and different trials that you need to get through before you can finally end up into this room, which is currently just a black room. But the plan eventually is to have it be the Cathedral of Heads, as I call it, which is going to be a direct, not rip-off, but inspired by the Faceless Man Temple from Game of Thrones. And that's where I will be displaying all of my hits. I'll have the mini blocks in the palace as a headcanon that the Jarl pays good money to collect all of these rare items throughout the world, but then he has this secret session then with all of the heads as well, so that's going to be tucked down into the deeper dungeony part of the mountain, the bowels of the mountain, if you will. And then all sorts of different ideas that I have. For instance, this will just be another river on the side of an ocean, kind of a little bit different style than that, just to add a little bit of interest. It'll be here in this tundra or taiga biome. So it's kind of like a frozen in lake. And then we have this area right here, this winter castle. I'm going to actually teleport here to explain it better. And you can see I was first messing around in Axiom, having no idea how to do this. So I kind of messed up deleting stuff, and I forgot that the block states are actually frozen. Here, if I were to open up this, I do believe, yeah, the updates weren't there when I did this, so all the snow is floating. Anyways, what I wanted to get at is somewhere right about where this icon is. Of course, my night vision's gonna go away. Let's go ahead and re-up on that quick. Do the 8-minute one this time. Okay, with that in our system, we can cruise back down here, and I chose this area for the exact reason that there is an end gateway here. So we have the actual stronghold buried directly below here, and my idea is that this area, while it's still quite close to the capital, that there's going to be this huge mountain range that goes all the way to build height to separate, to where you actually have to go walk all the way around whichever way and venture around the map before you end up over here. And this will be, I'm going to re-terraform this area to be a giant glacial mountain, larger scale than this one over here, where almost all of the mountain peaks will go to build height, That's 319. It'll be right about here. So imagine mountains going all the way up to here. They have this really deep cut ravine or glacier that goes right through here, and buried underneath that glacier will be a fortress. So it will actually be, you might be able to see like a tower or something sticking out, and you'll need to find a way into that fortress. And then from there, it was going to be a complete adventure map style of a re-envisioned, reworked stronghold as this ancient fortress that's been buried. And if you can find your way through it, then you'll find your way into the end, which I plan on building my own version of Valhalla in the end as part of my lore. So it's very Skyrim, Game of Thrones inspired stuff, because those things interest me. So obviously I started building that style. Yeah, I have all sorts of other projects dotted around here. A lot of these are just generic ones. Like, so this was originally supposed to be my episode 2 idea, and then I decided to raise the bar for myself, and I went way too far away. I was also waiting on the 1.21 blocks. I wanted to do a witch farm. So the actual farms are already in the world. I have a witch farm, which I believe is an ENXL4 design, but don't quote me on that. It's probably wrong. But I'm actually going to end up updating that, because 1.21 changed the witch farm mechanics to where they actually gave them a buff. And if I use a looting sword, I'll get more drops. So I'm going to rework that eventually. But directly below the witch farm is a slime farm. Once again, I don't remember who is the creator of it. It might be an Elmango. Either Elmango or Nembon design that this thing is so efficient, and you don't have to dig all the way down in a chunk border. It's just using the mechanic that slimes can spawn in a light level 1 area in a swamp biome pretty consistently at night, and then they'll be attracted to the golem, fall down. Perfect. And then I also squeezed in a nice custom sugarcane farm. So it's kind of like you make the rockets, and then you have the slime and everything. It was supposed to be the one-stop shop for rockets, was the plan. And then above that was going to be a custom swamp biome. And you can kind of see the general theme for where I was going. I love the color of these leaves in this biome. Totally matches that vibe, except for these birch ones. These look hideous. Don't mind those. But then I unfortunately discovered that I wanted the portal to be right here in either the base of a tree or another like ruined tower or something. But then I totally forgot the portal sinking bug that can happen. Oh, thank you. And you ended up can't have a portal that's down lower trying to sink that one's higher in the nether. They'll totally swap on you. So I ended up having to move my portal like way down almost here to be low enough to avoid it. So I need to rework it and dig out like a custom tunnel here, rework that down into it. So it would have been perfect naturally to have it like this, because I wanted that come out of a cave look and boom, get that cool tower. But yeah, later on I'm going to finish out this tower and really up my landscaping area, because I plan on just putting trees all the way around here and letting it be its own little self-sufficient build. But I think I'll actually build a small mountain range, just to nothing more than to divide the line of sight around this area. Another little clever thing I did inside of this build is once you enter inside of it, I tried to fit everything as close as I could. So you have the storage unit for the slime farm right here, the storage unit for the sugarcane farm, the controls to turn it on and off, all right there. But then I built this tower specifically the dimensions that I did, so that way you can go up these water tunnels and it'll land you in the perfect AFK spot at the very top of the tower. That was my exact choosing for this size and shape tower. And I might add like a little window dormer or something in here so I can fly in, so I don't feel obligated to always excuse me, use the water vader. Yeah, that's another project on the back burner. So we're at, let's see, 1, 2 actually active started projects on the server that got pushed back. Oh, and then the third one is not in this world, but this little ocean monument right here has been drained and converted into a guardian farm that I believe I did a stream, at least a couple streams, of trying to design a custom island as a collab project with another server member. So yeah, 3. I have 3 active projects that had to get pushed back to work on this terraforming project that I've currently tackled. It is right there. Yeah, anybody got any questions for me? You want to see anything more up close? It's all really in the design period. Guess I can jump into the tree repository area. You can get a glimpse at the very sad amount of progress that I've made on building trees. Minecraft is taking literally forever. Oh good, my file's saved. Take a little look at that while my games are swapping over here. Weird, awkward pause in between. There we go. Okay. Going to my Times Tree repository. Wanted to use the cool official names and stuff. And then it'll plop us here. My stream gonna catch up to me? Okay, good. So I use this as a method to try to refocus myself, because I just had them like randomly throughout different worlds. So I actually took the time to paste them into a single world, as well as I went and gridded out sections of it so you spawn right in the middle of that world, because I will do a world download eventually. And I wanted to get myself more organized, so I divided them up into different sections. So you got your evergreens, you're going to have your more deciduous trees, I believe that's the right word. And then these will be fantasy trees / mushrooms. And then over here, no wait, this will all be fantasy trees. And over here will be mushrooms and additional stuff. And then the evergreens, I'll have the green version as well as the snow covered version. This is the plan, so I'll probably have like 5, I think, different evergreen trees, and then 5 different snow covered variants. Awesome, I'm glad you're enjoying the progress on it. It's been slow and steady. I think we'll go ahead and take out of that. I think that'll be a good quitting point. I'm gonna end it off back inside that creative world. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead. Wait, which version? Getting my instances all mixed up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll just end it off in here. I really do appreciate everybody hanging out with me. It was a great stream today. Got a lot of progress started, and thank everybody for working through the chaos of that which is my life recently, and thanks everyone for their patience. I'm going to try to start streaming more. I'm trying to convince myself to stream minimum once a week, but I had challenged myself to stream every day this week. With the addition of the puppy, I just don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna at least try to hold myself to once a week do a stream, whether it be grinding, designing, or building. I'm gonna try to at least do one of those once a week. So I will not take offense if you guys want to jump into my Discord and give me some grief if I've missed a week or two. I will try to communicate as best I can. I don't have a specific time and date yet. More likely than not, it will either be Fridays or the weekends, just because of my work schedule and all that. Yeah, thank you everybody, and I do hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out.